And welcome to TIO Stadium for this match. Round 7 in the NTFL competition. St Mary's, beaten grand finalists last year, take on Waratah. Saints with 4 wins this year. Had a good win last week and starting to run into some good form. They've got some good players coming back in the side against the poor old Waratah team that are sitting bottom. They did have a win, but they took it off them. Jared Eilert joins me. Poor old Tars, they just can't get it right, can they?
Yeah, not a lot going their way at the moment, Charlie. And St Mary's, we know Darren Ewing and Raf Clark come in, so they obviously get a fair bit of experience into the team for this.
What do we know about Tars? I mean, they've brought in some good players. Harder and the like have been good, and Godden and those sorts of players. Do you heard much word on what they've got?
Yeah, well, no, there's not a lot of ins for them this week, but they're going to rely heavily on Justin Bugler, Sam Godden and Luke Harder, as you mentioned. Yeah,
should be a terrific game in front of us. Conditions here very hot during the wet season. We don't expect it to get that much cooler.
No, not at all, but there is a 2 to 3 goal breeze coming to the airport end, so we should expect a pretty tough and close contest.
All right, stay with us for this match. Round 7 in the NTFL from the TIO Stadium here in Darwin. Yes, and the team's out there on the field. Jared Eilert, there's the Tars team. They were out there earlier. They went out quite some time ago and had a little kick around and got familiar with the surrounds and the conditions out there. Saints came out very late, only just a few minutes ago. So Tars have been out there sometime. There's the St Mary's team. Really a test here for Tars today. And St Mary's, have they put themselves in a position where they're really going to be a dominant force? I think we'll find out in about an hour and a half from now.
Yeah, look, I think Waratahs have a lot to prove today. I think they're going to come out pretty hard and try and make a bit of a statement, considering the unfoldings during the week, which forced them to be now sitting on the bottom of the ladder.
Who are the players we should be looking for today, Jared?
Yeah, well, obviously, as we spoke in the opener, Darren Ewing and Raf Clark come in for St Mary's, and obviously we know the quality of player they are and the experience that they have. And again, we spoke about Luke Harder and Justin Bugler being key leaders for the Waratahs, and if they can get on the front foot and win their battles, it will lift the players around them.
What about Jack Long? He's been terrific in defence and he's been such a good player. He's starting to grow and develop, isn't he?
Yeah, look, I believe he's come in after a bit of time out with injury, so he'll be raring to go and trying to put in a good performance to lock a position in this team.
Of course, Darren Ewing, that's the man they're going to have to watch today.
Absolutely. Obviously his first game for this NTFL season, and we're away.
The dominant Wilson, who was terrific down at Nightcliff Oval last week in their big win, gets the kick out of the middle. Joshy Heath goes forward with it, punched away in defence. Tars under pressure earlier on. Saints rushing the ball forward here. Waratah with a handball to the back pocket. Bugler you always look for. Look at Saints back here. 4 of them lined across the ground. Wilson takes the mark. Heath was with him, and he had a player out to his left as well. Punches into the pocket. Gets it high, mark taken terrifically back there. Who else? Bugler, terrific mark, good defending play, gives it to Harder.
And we spoke about those 2 names straight away, Charlie. So they're forcing or stamping their authority early on in the game, and it's good to see for Waratahs.
See Dan Simpson doing some work out there, goes out towards the wing with it. And the runner on the inside there is Robinson. Robinson with the handball, gave it off to Krinjic. Krinjic went to ground, spillage to Iggy Vallejo, wins it on the wing, punches forward to the pocket. Good kick once Ewing. Pressure on him came from behind. Some terrific pressure too came there from Kenaway. Ball over the boundary line.
Yeah, and that's going to be a key matchup for the game and for the fans that are here today. Ewing and Kenaway. We also see McFarlane starting up forward as we normally do for St Mary's, and we'll get the matchup in a second on that one.
Wilson kicked 4 goals last week. He loves it up in that forward line. Tars can come out of defence here and use the handball now. Out to Bugler, runs from half back. Cooper closes on him, gets to the half back line, kicks it up towards the half forward line. Oldhouse was the man they were looking for, didn't get him. Handball went back from Musgrove to Eilert, goes across the middle to the man there in, of course, Mark McLean.
Yeah, good work by Waratahs just to slow down the play and force St Mary's to switch it, and but they had coverage for the middle, so if they can create a turnover here, that will work out well. Larson
and McLean working well. Ben Rioli went forward last week at the Nightcliff Oval, kicked a couple of goals, was damaging and dangerous. Wins it at the wing, handball out wide here. Peter McFarlane chips it in short. Didn't have much on it. Cooper runs at the foot. He couldn't get it. They've got Cooper goes to ground. Gave it up pretty easily. Tars in defence there. Shaper doing some pretty good work. One way and then the other goes back to the reliable Bugler. And Bugler kicks it outside 50, but getting in the way. Leroy Larson takes a terrific mark. Chip shortly. Gives it to McLean. Outside 50. Loads it up. Goes for gold as McLean from a long way out. Comes off hands and rushed through for a minor score.
Yeah, good defensive work there by Kenaway again. That kick by Mark McLean. Just dropping short. He would have liked to get a bit more purchase on that. But again, the breeze, as we said, is favouring the airport end, so they're kicking into it, St Mary's.
So Saints with it short now, with the pass came in from Ewing to McFarlane. We might call that more than once today, is my suggestion.
Yeah, well, they're very prominent ball, I guess, gatherers. They attract the footy, players look for them, and I mean, they're renowned goal kickers. So, Darren Ewing for his first shot at goal.
This is his first kick in the NTFL season,
correct?
Isn't it? But can he convert? Of course he can. He gets to 50, runs in and kicks. He knows exactly what he's doing. Bang, kicks the goal.
Yeah, never in doubt, Charlie, the way you called that in, but. Obviously, we know he's a quality player. He's kicked. He's led the leading goal kicking for Thunder 4 out of the 7 years that he's played. So we know he's a quality player. And Kenaway's going to have some his hands full this afternoon.
I wonder if they'll leave the one player on him. Would they not? Rotate Bugler, and I don't know if Bugler's the guy to go with him. They're teammates at Thunder, aren't they?
Yes, they know each other very well, but again, I think Bugler's going to play that role where he can drop off and fill in the hole.
I've been impressed with Joshy Heath. I'll tell you what, when they were down and out Saints, he stood up. So good to see a player like him doing his bit. Like he's one of those Saints players just been there for a long time, Jared, and he's. I just like the way he goes about business. He's
very reliable, and you know what you're going to get from Josh. He's going to have a crack every second that he's on that field.
Harder to Robinson. Now, Frankie Robinson's kick inside 50. Gets over the back. Picked up on the run there by McDonald. Kicks at goals. Rolls right across the face, minor score.
Great pick up by McDonald. He had a little bit more time than he thought. Because he was clean with the footy, he had the opportunity to tuck the ball under his arm and take a few steps. But that's okay. It's in the forward 50 and they're on the scoreboard. Iggy
Balajo running into form. Much talk about whether he can play another season and a bit. He'll need to do that to break the record for the most games ever played. But I tell you what, he's just the last couple of weeks he started to run into good form. Iggy Balajo looks like he's really enjoying his footy again.
Yeah, look, they're going to rely heavily on him in the early parts of the season because I guess the player turnover. But he's certainly looking fit and can play 2 to 3 more seasons if he wanted to.
Handball over the top there. Cooper gives a handball off to the man going past, and straight to the goal square to Ben Rioli goes Ewing. Nothing greedy about that. Straight to Ben Rioli, who loves it.
Yeah, it's when your teammates use the first option and have clean skill, you're going to find more options and people in space. So Ben Rioli pushing forward in an uncustomary kind of role, and he's on the scoreboard early.
Now, Tars worked hard last week, didn't they, in the game that they played here against Darwin, I think it was, wasn't it? They only went down by a couple of goals in the end. It was probably their most promising performance for the year, apart from the one that they won that they took off them. But apart from that, I reckon they were good last week.
You could sense that they were building. They had a stable side for the last 3 weeks, and that was a key for them to actually building some momentum. Obviously, the happenings of the week interrupted that, but they got an opportunity to, I guess, show everybody what they're made of, and hopefully they can pull together as a team to work their way out of this.
Herbison kick out wide, gives it to Jack Williams. Williams went in short, didn't work for him. It landed in the hands of Hatcher, who read it best across half-back, went to the wing. He's got a player out there loose. Can he keep the ball in the field of play? They're the ones you've got to do. He was 15, 20 metres in the clear, that teammate, and the ball just got away from him.
And that's what we saw the difference earlier with Ben Rioli's goal. The lead-up was clean skill, bang, bang, hit the targets. Angus was out on his own, so he had a paddock of space. If he can hit that target, he's got a big kick on him that he can get the ball into the forward 50.
So Ball goes to ground here. Will it come out? Pat gets over the top. Umpire will come in and ball it up. If you missed the women's exhibition match, was just on here. They had Thunder Black team played a Thunder Yellow team to celebrate women's round in the NTFL, and the Thunder Black team won 8-10 to Thunder Yellow 4-5. So Thunder was the winner, but more importantly, women's footy was the winner on the day.
It was a great game, Charlie, and some great players in there. And geez, they don't hold back in actually going hard at the footy. We saw a number of clashes and injuries, and they had everything. Goals from the boundary, everything.
Yes, that's right. Some good marks. Liam and bounces running with the ball. Liam O'Connor kicked down the corridor. He goes in search for a teammate. Ball hits the ground, and they'll get away here. He's running from there. Raf Clark gets it inside 50. Ewing comes out looking for it. Bulldozes his way into space. Shapes to give the handball. Beats about 5. That's an exaggeration. Was probably 3. We finished up with Ben Rioli, who got it from Heath. Goes for goal. And it's a minor score.
He's hit the post. Yeah, Darren Ewing looking for the handball.
Early on in the season. Make some friends. That's what you do. Never underestimate me. I'm likely to give it to you. Oh, he's a great player. We haven't seen the likes of him, I think, in many years up here. Here's Iggy Vallejo at the back. We see Will Farrer at the moment, who's a very complete, different player, plays it very differently. But Ewing, when the ball's on the ground, and his body strength and his legs and all that, he's just a super player. Kick back in field, straight into the hands of Jack Williams. Williams, long kick, wants Wilson, finds him. He's got a runner going inboard, works it to him, and he can go forward here. Jack Musgrove kicks to Leroy Larson. We were talking last week about Kieran Holt Tubbs coming of age, and Leroy Larson's been taking a long time to get there, but I reckon he showed a bit last week against Nightcliff, and we might see more from him today.
Yeah, obviously Rick Nolan, coach for St Mary's, has a lot of faith in Leroy, and he's certainly got some talent. It's just a matter of the consistency, and I think what we're seeing in Keaton Holt Tubbs at the moment, he's just, I guess he's up and about. There's that confidence, and he's playing consistent football.
Here's Herbison off the left boot, goes for goal, and no problem at all. Herbison kicks the goal, and I'll tell you what, if Saints get this up today, they're going to kick a very big score here. They'll kick 20 goals plus. They just look mean, switched on, and as sharp as we've seen this year.
Yeah, certainly contrasting from the performance we saw against Southern Districts 2 weeks ago. The milestone game for John Anstess last week, I guess, clicked a lot of players and a lot of people into gear, and obviously there was an influx of quality players coming into the team, but geez, they look on song at the moment, and they're actually going into the breeze. So you're right, Charlie, it could get a little bit messy, but we expect Waratahs to get one-on-one and make it physical and make it a contest. I
reckon, Jared, it doesn't hurt to hit a low spot earlier on in the season. You can get a taste of it, know what it's like. You go through winning, you don't know quite what it's like.
Yeah, obviously losing you highlight your deficiencies in a much stronger manner, and it forces you to work on that. I guess you can hide some of those deficiencies if you are winning games week in, week out. But I think what we're finding, Charlie, is that the competition's really close this year. It's sensational between first and fifth, and we're going to see a really hot run into the finals.
Yeah, Bugler here. He's very hard to get past. He's a great defender back there, and he's worked hard for this red and white team. Kicks up towards the wing. The build-up was good from Saints, I must say. McFarlane working with Ben Rioli out there in the wing. Little push forward there by Jack Long. Cooper takes the mark, live wire forward, play him off a wing if you like. Spearing kick is good. Wilson gets to it, steps back in, go the handball across to Ben Rioli, bounced off him, clean up by Fraser Jennings, brings it out towards the half-back line. And Saints there again through Cooper, brings it back into overrunning. It was Leroy Larson. It sat up for him. He got into space. He's away, Leroy Larson. He has a shot from a long way out. Too many players back there. Wilson, one of them, takes the mark. Had a taste of him last week to Justin Wilson. He wants more. He runs in and kicks the goal when they weren't expecting it. Well done.
No, he's hit the post, I reckon.
Has he?
No, he's actually very lucky, because he did hit the post, and he's been called to come back round onto his mark.
Okay.
So extremely lucky. He's going to get another go at this. However, I've just watched Justin Wilson for the last 3 minutes, and he's out on this wing all by himself. So someone needs to man up on him. Yeah.
He manages to get clear. Now his second effort is considerably better, and he kicks the goal.
Yeah, he gets the major. Like I said, he's just by himself, and I guess the the confidence that you have in your teammates up the field to win the football allows you to, I guess, sneak forward and push forward. And Justin Wilson's one of the best at that.
Yeah, he is a good player. There's no doubt about it. They miss him when he's not there. He's just a bit of a magnet for that footy, I reckon.
Absolutely, but he has the ability to get in there and actually do the hard stuff too. So he's a quality player.
We have Kieran Davis on the boundary line. We'll be checking in with him throughout the match. Jared Eilert with me here as well. Charlie King with you in our box here at the TIO Stadium in Darwin. Round 7 of the NTFL competition. St Mary's taking on TARS. Look at that tap down. Was a beauty, wasn't it? Straight out of the middle comes Saints down towards the half forward line. And McFarlane's going to claim the mark. Umpire says no. Gave it to Larson. They got to Larson in a hurry. Stopped him in his tracks. Some hard work being put on there by Velastro.
Yeah, they'll expect a big game from Velastro. He's a big body. He's a tall. He can play key position, and obviously with McFarlane, Ewing, and Clark up in their forward line, they're going to need all their tools. Lavastito
working there, and the kick comes straight into Justin Cooper. I mentioned him before, the most damaging forward you'd ever want. Runs from the wing down in the forward line. He's elusive. He gets around players and he can kick goals as well. And he's got in the ABC Dream Team a couple of times this year because he's been so good.
What's impressive about Justin Cooper is his defensive game. I think that's what Rick pushes him the most on, is his tackles up forward.
Well, he goes in and he bangs away at goal, and no problem at all for him. And it's raining goals here for St Mary's, and it's not the goals they're getting, Jared. It's the ease in which they get them. They've played 13 minutes and they've banged through 5 goals.
Yeah, they're just winning the football across the middle of the ground. So whenever Waratahs do clear it, it's just coming straight back in and catching all the defenders off guard at the moment.
So Wilson, Ben Rioli, Darren Ewing, Justin Cooper, Mitchell Herbison, all have got goals, and that's putting all those together without bringing Peter McFarlane into it.
And you see Bugler lining up on Ben Rioli, and that's I don't think that's the matchup you want for Justin Bugler.
Well, Rioli will just run away from him, won't he?
Well, obviously Bugler, with his experience and height and stronger body, you'd almost put him on Ewing.
But the Saints' delivery into the forward line is just first rate, you know. They'll hit Ben Rioli if he gets a metre away from Bugler. Here's the kick for Cooper. Under the foot he gets to it. Bugler got to him late, but it was all too late. Justin Cooper had the mark. Can he become the first multiple goal scorer for the Saints today? He's tucked in a pretty severe angle. He'll kick from about 25 metres, probably about 5 metres in from the boundary line, from way over in that far forward pocket. See what he can do with this. He's got the fluorescent green boots on. They help, I've heard. Here he goes, comes in, caresses it nicely from out there and misses to the near side, minor score.
Not on this occasion, Charlie.
No. Did you get into the colourful blue boots, Jared, in all those games you played?
Or
were they black boots?
Black boots, and I think I had a pair of white boots, Charlie. I never ventured to the... I wasn't quick enough to wear the fluoro colours.
That's a great kick out, isn't it? It goes, so that's 70-metre kick. Cameron Eilert there working hard for it, got the handball away. The big run from the back there is Jackson Bowen, is it? For TARS back there, number 30, inside 50. Ball knocked to ground, Cooper. And a shot on the run there. Might have been, was that Herbison? Missed out to the left, minor score. That's a big mess there. Dropped the ball over the boundary line. Is Matt Blake.
Yes, doesn't help.
The TARS just don't quite know what to do here. They're under enormous pressure at the moment. They're up against a very skillful side, using the ball very well early stages of the match, and players everywhere. It's almost like you want to stop and count. Here's Herbison to the pocket. Wanted Ben Rioli, didn't get it.
Yeah, just those, I guess, basics, Charlie. The it was an easy kick in. All we had to do was take the mark, and then he would have controlled the game. So
here's the throw in. So Saints deep in attack here. Plenty of players down there. Labastida tried to squeeze the kick out of a congested forward line. and then it rolled through in the end for... No, it wasn't a minor score. I reckon it might have just hit the behind post, so it's going to be a throw-in. Alongside the behind post, Saints deep in attack here. 17 minutes gone first term, round 7 of the NTFL at the TIO Stadium in Darwin. Look at the players around the footy here. Tars are happy to do this, I reckon. Ben Rioli gets around the outside of it all, puts it high. Now, can they take a mark down there? Big Pack gets there, knocked to ground. Iggy Vallejo on the charge. Iggy goes for goal from a long way out and misses out to the right, minor score.
Yeah, it all just opened up for him. He hit the ball pretty hard, and he's pretty strong through the core, Ignatius Vallejo, and just missing the shot on goal on that occasion. Saints,
of course, played in the grand final last year. Wanderers beat them in that match. They want to set the record straight this year. That's a good bark at the back there, taken by Cam Jones. Use the handball from the half-back line. They come up towards the wing. And both hands on the footy that time, but not able to complete the mark was Big Angus Clark. Handball straight out to Puruntuta Mary. Into the corridor they go, working through Blake. They've turned it over.
I was just about to say, great build-up from Waratahs. Unfortunately, a wayward handball as we see Ben Rioli kick the ball deep inside the forward 50 for St Mary's, and Justin Bugler cutting it off.
Nothing unusual about that. Ben Rioli having a shot, Bugler cutting it off. Simpson wins the footy in the back pocket, kicks it out. Here's a rolling ball to a teammate out there in Gooch. Gooch up towards the wing with the kick. A nice one too. Finds Robinson. Has the run fine. Handball was a poor one. Let Iggy Vallejo back in. Saints have stolen it again and can work it out of defence here. Anthony Long doing some work out there. Little kick forward from Raf Clark. Goes out wide and finds Jack Williams out on the wing. Or rather just short of. Come back into the field of play to Anthony Long. They're going across half-back, Saints. They're going to stretch them wide here. And that's a bouncing ball out very, very wide. And the little kick came off the boot there of Heath. And that's in the back. So Saints will pull the free kick here. That's McMurtry.
Yeah, just obviously wanted to kill the football there. Sam got him, but just overrunning it and getting in the back of his opponent.
Murtry's kick, Sun might have got in the way that time, left Benny Rioli a chance to pick it up. Sun doesn't bother Ben, went with the handball over the top, picked up there by Joshy Heath, went back. Carl Load kicks it out wide, ball goes to ground. Cooper a chance to get it, no chance. Boundary wins. Throw in alongside the behind post.
Well, we've seen Waratahs take the ball forward with some clean possession and momentum and fluency, but that last either handball or kick to get inside the forward 50 is just breaking down for them.
Saints, the game's just locked up at the moment, hasn't it? The Saints had all that free run earlier on for about 15 minutes.
And that's, well, although we see a free kick going to Justin Wilson. I'm not sure why. Might have been a high tackle, but yes, that was a good result for Waratahs just to lock it up, get some touch and feel going in terms of one-on-one contest and stop the momentum a bit here. But as we just said, Justin Wilson with a free kick.
Had a good game last week and had a hand injury that kept him out for some time. Justin Wilson, been around for a long time, well known in territory footy. Tough nut player, takes no nonsense. Will kick a goal when asked to do it and does that just here. And his little daughter Ruby will be very proud of him. Dad's got two.
Yes, his life has turned upside down with his first child, and just adds to the number of little kids running around at St Mary's.
All the little, the baby Saints are everywhere. Oh gee, they'll be playing under 10s in a few years. So Saints going about merry business here. 6-5 to a point. I thought the improvement of Tars last week, we might see them fire a few shots here today, but they're just not in this contest at the moment. Saints doing as they like. From the middle they came with Leroy Larson out wide, too loose the checking here, straight into the hands of Daniel Lewis. Lewis runs to the corridor, bangs it long down towards the pocket. Ewing under the footy, takes the mark. That's a great mark. He was under fearful pressure from Kenaway.
Yeah, he just does that beautifully, doesn't he? The timing, the push out, and just protecting that drop zone, going back with the fly of the ball. I must say, I'm impressed with Daniel Lewis's start to the game. He's done a couple of really good taps in the midfield, but he's not shy and actually pushing out, creating space.
He goes around the body and misses. And I like the way Ewing, I must say, that looks when he's deep in that forward pocket, as if he is considering passing it off to someone in a better position. It's a nice look to have, isn't it? You've got to perfect it.
Don't be fooled.
He nearly kicked it. He got close to it. He should have the shot. So he's the key man down there, and that's his job out there. It's like asking a ruckman not to do the ruck work.
That's it.
Here's the run forward with Jennings.
Nice kick.
Yeah, that is a good kick. Sliding mark taken out there. Might be Luke Harder. He's a good player, Luke Harder. I'd like to see him in a really top team. Gave it to McBean. Kyle McBean runs inside 50. The goals are open. Punts long. And Kyle McBean finally gets the goal for Tars. They've worked hard for it. Took 22 minutes, but they get their first goal of the match.
Much better builder. Great skill by Fraser Jennings just to hit Luke Harder on the hit-up lead. And again, you make those... you hit those targets, you get the skill right, and it leads to a running shot from Kyle McBean to get Waratahs on the board.
They got behind the Saints line then and worked it well, held possession, didn't give it up. You can see running into the middle there for Saints, Henry Labastida goes in there. The man you mentioned before, Daniel Lewis, is in there as well. Wilson is in there. And Lewis going to do the ruck work. Did pretty well. Tapped it down. Wilson read it beautifully. Got on the left boot, which is his not favoured side, and then kicked it down towards the forward line. Free kick has been picked out of it. I reckon it's going to go to Justin Bugler. How good is he? Just give me your assessment on Justin Bugler. I mean, is there a better key defender in the competition than him?
Look, that's a tough one. John Anstice and Justin Bugler are probably the two key defenders that their first picks in their team. His leadership over the last 2 years, his development in the leadership side of things has been remarkable, and he's thoroughly deserves all the success he's getting at the moment. Yeah,
and he has to work hard in a team that's having a lot of goals kicked against him. Usually his man has been held pretty well. Here's the kick forward. Now the whistle's gone. It's going to be a free kick down forward here. I reckon there's a little bit of holding on down here, so it's a free kick for Tars. Luke Harder's going to get it from about 25 metres out, orbit directly in front.
Yeah, well, that's again, you get quick ball movement and good skill. You put the defenders under pressure, and on that occasion, Jack Long, knowing the how dangerous Luke Harder can be in front of goals, obviously gave away the free kick.
So Luke Harder starts the approach. He's well inside 50. Got the headgear on. Kicks with the left boot. He won't miss, and he doesn't. They've kicked two in a row here. They've come back hard just when Saints were starting to show absolutely domination. Harder joins McBean as a goal kicker for Tars in the first term.
Geez, he's a great kick of the football, and he just leaned back on that left foot. And we know Luke Harder's just signed with Glenelg Football Club for 2016. He spent some times at Port Adelaide Magpies, and he's certainly well known in the South Australian leagues.
Yeah, good player, handy player. So they can build. Well, I think you and I talked about this before. Taj pick five or six players out there. You build a good team around them. It's those other players that you've got to work through. They've got to improve skill, or they've got to get more fitness, or whatever. Something has to happen with that other group.
Yeah, and again, I think Daniel Nicholson's not playing, and he's one that's got AFL experience, and he was a handy player for them over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And Dom Barry as well was an exclusion, so you can bring them back in the team. You're looking okay.
Harder under the footy. They ran away with it though. He had some help back there from Cringy. Didn't quite work though. Now it finishes up with Marius Clark. And he goes for the reach over the top for Wilson. Got his hands on it, lost it. A handball came back cleverly to Hatcher. Hatcher just was on the bench for a little while. Now the kick inside 50, and I reckon the call was leave it at the back from Cam Islet. I reckon he might have Jeff McDonald might have heard the call. Anyway, Cam Islet's going to get 50 out of all of that. But he looked like he was going to mark it for a second, then he just pulled out of it, the Waratah player.
Yeah, well, that's where his teammates behind him need to tell him to go for it, and not too sure what Cam. No, I thought he might try and have a shot. But,
you know him better than
mate.
that. Quarter time here, 6-6 to 2-1. Let's get some thoughts from Jared on the first quarter.
Yeah, look, obviously St Mary's come out of the blocks pretty hard and fast, and with a superior skill, and obviously that shows in the scoreboard at the moment. But to Waratah's credit, they clogged it up. They were able to wrestle back some of that momentum and got 2 late goals. So. Again, we want to see that tough, tight, physical tussle over the next 3 quarters.
So Kieran Davis we've got down there. We'll go out and have a listen. We'll get an idea from him what the coach has said. He's on the boundary. We'll talk to him when we come back.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah. You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tide.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jade.
Oh, here, Tom. Play on. Matty, straight out. Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on. Yes! All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Make sure we really rotate. A couple of things, how do we create space? Well, a couple of ways we can create space is repeat leads. That training we did the other week, where you go back to your spot, go back to your spot. If you're on the move, that's going to repeat leads. The 45 kick, looking for the 45 kick, the shake kick, the switch, they're ways to create space. Benny, when you're running through there, if Bugler's sitting there, which gets 6 semi-set marks, if you look up and Bugler's there, and you've just run it with handle, run it with handle. It's going to kick that straight down Bugler's throat. Love Muzzy, your kick into the forward line, terrific. Running through, low kick, really, really good. As I said, rotations have been really good. The ego's been on a hook and it's been good. Keep playing your role in the middle. Now we're winning pretty easy there and you still stayed as a sweeper and got the ball. You could have got sucked in because you were winning, but still played your role as a sweeper, right? As I said, the things that's going to create space because they're going to get numbers back is repeat leads. 45 kicks, bloody blocks. If you can see Bugler there, let's run it by, if we've got plenty through the midfield, run it with hands until we could take it to the 40 line and then kick a goal, right? Keep the work rate up. Come on. Finish off. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 6.
Hey, make sure we keep that effort up, no drop-offs.
Good on, boys, kick on.
And welcome back to the TIO Stadium here. Quarter time, St Mary's 6-6 lead, Waratah 2-1. Justin Wilson's got a couple for Saints. Ben Rioli a goal, Darren Ewing a goal, Cooper and Herbison have a goal each, and McBean and Harder the goal kicker for Tars. Let's go down to Kieran Davis. He was listening into the Saints end. Kieran, what do you got for us?
Well, Rick Nolan was saying, Justin Bugler's really been the influence in this game, so he wants them to go around him, take the 45-degree kicks out wide to the flanks rather than just boot it into Bugler. He thought that they definitely deserved that 6 goals, but he thought they could have got a couple more. They really worked hard and the rotations were great. He was a bit disappointed with the 2 goals at the end of the quarter there by Waratahs, but all in all, he was happy with the Saints' efforts.
Good on you, Kieran. Thanks for that. Well, he would be happy with that performance, wouldn't he? I'd reckon, Rick Nolan.
Yeah, obviously a great start, but Kieran picked up really well that Justin Bugler has been Waratah's best player. Luke Harder, and I think Jacob Shaper started the game pretty well for Tars as well. For St Mary's, Justin Wilson, Ben Rioli, and I've liked the way Daniel Lewis has started in the middle.
Yes, he's good. Where's Wilson? Where is he? There he is. Where would he be?
He's in the midfield, and as we see, Raf Clark go up in the ruck.
Is that? Well, there he is. Wilson comes away with it. What a great player is that! Kick for Ewing is a beauty. Did the hand go over the shoulder of Ewing? No, it didn't. Not according to the umpire. Carl Load. Cooper tried to get it back to Load. Bugler got in the way. Carl Load kicked it off the ground. Lucky not to give away a free kick with that. It's a bit dangerous. And there's is Clark working for it. High kick down towards the top of the goal line. Knocked over the back towards the boundary line. Will it go over? Yes, it will. Right thing to do?
Absolutely. And just a bit of a structural sort of shift. Cameron Islet starting on the back flank. And Ben Rioli obviously starting in the forward flank. And we saw Raf Clark for St Mary's starting the ruck.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
I was going to ask you that with the ruck for Saints. We'll just stay with this kick from McFarlane. He goes for goal and he's missed it out to the left. He's just standing there, bang, dropped it on his boot.
Yeah, I think that was Jack Williams.
It was Jack Williams too.
He's pushed up into the forward line. He must be on the ball at the moment.
Where is McFarlane, by the way?
Yeah, he's out there. He's, I guess the kicks have been coming in a little bit longer, so the target in that instance is always Darren Ewing.
Oh, there he is. He's in the centre of the ground at the moment. That's why I couldn't see him. He's up right in the centre of the ground. Ball knocked towards the boundary line by Tars. Held up there, Nick Gooch. Saints take it off them. Little kick was good. And they can run this down forward now. There's McFarlane. Climbs over the back. Goes for the footy. He'll get to this ball will bounce nicely for him. Went with a handball to Wilson. Wilson's doing well on these plays. Ewing goes to Wilson. They all go to Wilson. Ben Rioli wins the footy and cruises through and kicks the goal.
Yeah,
Easy as you like.
Getting that turnover out on the far side just put the Waratah's defender out of position. And I guess the St Mary's players have the confidence in their teammates up the ground to win the footy. So Ben Rioli and Justin Wilson didn't even actually go up to the contest. They just waited for it to come back to them.
Interesting, Ben Rioli, when he plays at Thunder, they run him from a back pocket. Damaging defender, runs forward. Saints experimenting with him down in the forward line. It's not the first time it's been done, but it's paying dividends, isn't it? We saw it last week and again this week.
Well, he's obviously very elusive and very quick, and he's a very good reader of the play, learning his craft from a back pocket.
And Shannon, his brother, we saw him playing last week. He's not playing today. What's his story?
I'm not sure if it's just his turn to have a rest. But obviously it allows to bring in sort of guys like Jack Musgrave now, who gets on the end of this ball to come in and have another taste of A-grade footy.
Musgrave's kick's good. Now what's in the centre? This next one is where Saints always work it pretty well, and they'll go for Cameron Island, who's run from where you correctly called a short time ago, playing across half-back.
And we just see two players for St Mary's come off the bench, and there's always a sure sign to get the footy. It comes this way.
Yeah, as soon as you come out, yeah. There's Labastida. Diving over the footy down there was Marius Clark. Saints now with a kick out to Ben Rioli. He's got all the space in front of him he wants. And that's an unbelievable kick from Ben Rioli. I'm not sure what he was doing, but he picked out Bowen like he was his teammate and hit him on the chest. Islet got his hands on it, knocked it to ground on the kick that tried to get out of defence. It's at the 50-metre line. Tars working pretty hard for this footy. Nowhere to go. Cameron Island in there to hold it all up. So that's the 50-metre line there, and they just can't get clear here, Waratahs.
Yeah, you would have liked Bowen for Waratahs just to pump the ball down, long down the line, boundary side to give their defenders a bit of breathing space.
Here's Cooper. Cooper wheels around. He can see the goals. He loves having a shot. Bangs away at goal. Good-looking kick from him. He's not going to miss from there, and Cooper... He's got his second.
Yeah, Cooper's obviously pretty quick, and he just saw the space open up in front of him, so he took a couple of quick steps, balanced, and kicked a great snap.
So Justin Wilson, Ben Rioli, and Justin Cooper all have 2 goals apiece for St Mary's. Yeah,
it's the usual suspects for Waratahs. Charlie, Luke Harder down on hands and knees at the bottom of the pack, trying to get the footy out.
Do you know, if you've got a handful of good players, Jared, and they work very hard earlier on, then what happens is they don't collapse. It's those players that are around them who aren't doing as much. They seem to lose their way as well. You know, it just makes it really difficult on those hard-working players, because you need them to lift up, don't you? You need them to ride with those good players.
And rotations are such a big part of this game at the moment, especially with these conditions. So
Ewing's going to get hold of this in the pocket, keeps it in. And then goes back for McFarlane, who got one hand on it, couldn't complete the mark though. Cooper with a handball out to Joshy Heath. They took it off him. That was good work, Tars. They won it in defence. Bring it out towards the wing. Here's a good battle out here. Eilert just fell over, got the little bumps, going to get the free kick.
Yeah, the crowd...
not sure about that, the crowd.
The crowd not happy with that one. But the umpire, Mark Noonan, right on the spot.
So... Jeff McDonald was the one who gave the kick away, so the kick was good, straight into the hands of Josh Heath. Another touch for him. Pocket kick, Ben Rioli got out there a long way.
And that's exactly what Rick Nolan wanted them to do, is make sure that you hit that target and make Justin Bugler push up.
Yes, yeah, and they're just doing that, aren't they? They followed his instructions. Here's Cooper takes the mark. Who's he got down there?
Well, he had plenty of options, but...
Wilson wanted it. He was a good option, Wilson. But he's gone right across to centre half-back and gave it to Cameron Eilert, who's come up from the half-back flank, and he's going to go short and turn it over.
Yeah, that's obviously a costly error, but well read by Fraser Jennings.
Oldhouse out in front, got to it, hit his chest and then bounced off. Good clean-up by Cameron Eilert. Gave it off to Jack Williams to the pocket. He's the live wire up there at the moment, is Ben Rioli.
Yeah, no one's going with him.
And Cooper's going to do it all himself. I'm sick of this. Give it to me. I'll kick a goal, and he's got 3. Whoa, Justin Cooper.
What a fantastic snap. I guess the ball just keep coming back. Waratahs did pretty well to repel it 3 or 4 times, but the ball just kept coming back. And in trying to create run and trying to, I guess, make something happen, Waratahs just again were caught out of position, and Ben Rioli by himself. And we just see the skills of Justin Cooper with a left foot snap from the pocket.
Big game coming up here tonight on the back of this one. Southern Districts and Darwin. Wow. It's going to be okay. Southern Districts arguably the best team in the competition. They are on top of the table. They take on a Darwin team that just have their ears back at the moment and full of run and confidence, and there'll be a big crowd staying on for that game later on tonight.
Should be a ripper, Charlie.
Labastida's handball was good, down towards the forward line. Justin Cooper onto another one. Just chips it up, gave it to Leroy Larson, can run into an open goal and kick it. He does just that. So he gets his first, Leroy Larson, onto the spillage, and a nice little kick through to the vacant spot there, and Larson got hold of it.
Yeah, and St Mary's obviously just dictating all the play in terms of the movement, and when you got clean skills on the ground, so Darren Ewing attacked that ball pretty hard, but was able to keep it in front. Justin Cooper front and centre, and again, if you've got the confidence in your teammate to win the footy in that space, Leroy Larson just sneaks out the back and gets the goal.
So it's that scoreboard hasn't adjusted yet. Now it has 10-7 to 2-1. I said earlier on in the game that I thought Saints would kick 20 goals here. I might have to revisit that, Jared. The way they're playing, really, they are playing just terrific, clean footy at the moment. Like that old cricket comment, there's only one team out there playing, and Tars just can't get into this game at all. Hurry kick come out of the middle up towards McFarlane.
Jeez, he's a good
Bugler
player.
did well. Again, he's terrific, isn't he? And the kick from him is going to be good as well. Out there, gives it to Matt Blake. Blake's out on the wing. Back to the corridor he comes. So Tars can try and build something here. They've given it to Robinson. He's got a bit of run to go. He kicked it straight into Iggy Vallejo. The spillage came back to him, so he gets a second chance. But Iggy Vallejo got it and took it off him again for the second time. Cameron Island on the charge from half-back. Very quickly, Carl Load with the footy, over to Ewing, round the corner goes Ewing, snaps at goal, and Darren Ewing kicks another one. Whoa, what a player he is.
Yeah, a couple of efforts there from Darren Ewing, but I guess when the ball comes in like that, it's very hard to defend, and Carl Load, front and centre, kept his feet. Again, Darren Ewing was able to slip out the back when Load won the football and get his 3rd goal.
With your player management stuff, can I ask you this question? You know this football club, St Mary's. You've got to rest these players for so many games, some of these players like Ewing and the like. Why would you use them against Tars when you probably need them for more important games later on?
Yeah, good question. Obviously, I think what you find, Charlie, there is a lot of player movement with the fly-ins, any recruits coming across any of the clubs. So you just need to get the best team every week that you can possibly get.
So it doesn't matter who you're playing?
No, I don't think so. I think, I guess, with the St Mary's losing against Southern Districts in a pretty poor manner, they need to get some wins on the board and start, I guess, developing that momentum.
Well, just for our viewers, explain that the player ruling on those players that have played for Territory Thunder. How many games can they play?
Yeah, so if they've played over 10 games with NT Thunder during the NEFL season, they're eligible to play 10 games in the NTFL plus finals as part of their player management across 12 months of football.
Okay. Leroy Larson got a terrific kick from Carl Load. Umpire didn't reward him. He worked very hard for it. Now he's paid a free kick against him. So Saints did all the good work down there. Wilson looks up a little perplexed. Not quite sure. He couldn't quite work out what happened there. But Rioli pushed it out wide. The running player is Raph Clark towards the boundary line. Keeps it in the field of play. A little bit of John Anstess about him, isn't he? Although Anstess is filled out a bit. I was looking at him last week at Nightcliff Oval. He was defending, sitting in front of me, and he's big around the shoulders and the arms.
They like the bars work, Charlie. Form of fitness of body weight.
And we're not talking about serving drinks either.
No.
We're talking about pumping weights. Who's held up again inside the 50. Saints have it where they want it at the 11-minute mark of this second term. It was 6-6 to 2-1 at quarter time, 11-7 to 2-1. Now Jared Eilert joining me in commentary here at the TIO Stadium. NTFL round 7. Peter McFarlane kicks over the top. Tars back there. Wait for it. They can clear this up. They need to pick it up in a hurry, because if they don't, Saints will have too many players back there. They will get their hands on it. Wilson got clear. Went with the handball to Ewing. Ewing thought, goodness, if I was only a little closer. Rushed over for a boundary line throw-in.
Yeah, you feel for the Waratahs defender. They're just under pressure constantly at the moment. They're getting some good numbers around the footy and putting on some pressure, but I think Saints are just holding their feet, keeping up off the ground, which allows them to use the footy like they are at the moment.
Yeah, they're just getting harassed, aren't they? Here's the kick right to the goal line. Cooper will get onto this and tap it back. He's given it to Ewing. Ewing ducks his head. And I reckon he's drawn a free kick. He's lucky to get that, I reckon.
Yeah, he played at it. He took the footy and went forward in a forward movement with his head down, and lucky to get away with that one.
But he does his bit anyway. He kicks the goal. So he's got 3. Justin Cooper's got 3. Ben Rioli and Justin Wilson have 2 each. And Saints going about some business here. 12-7 to 2-1.
So we see some more rotations come on from both teams.
So Lewis is the rucking option. Who's the backup ruckman?
Well, obviously Ryan Smith is out for this game, but as we've seen, Lewis and Clark taking the responsibilities so far.
And sometimes McFarlane gets used, doesn't he, if they want him. Here's Lewis winning it out of the middle. And Leroy Larson, you're right, does a little bit of it. Here's Ben Rioli. Onto the right boot he goes. Ewing in great position with the push. Plays on, is going to run in and kick another goal. Wow. There's some lessons to be learnt when you play Darren Ewing.
Yeah, he's a great... obviously, we've spoken about it before, but he just uses his body so well, and he's so strong through the upper body. It's not a one-man job, I think.
Yeah.
Playing on Darren Ewing, especially in the form that the midfield for St Mary's is in at the moment, with quick ball movement, clean skills. He needs a bit of help.
Jab, we saw Saints field some second-string sides, if you like, earlier on in the season, and they had some losses there that they really must have stung the club, I reckon, because we're seeing them now there's a hunger about them. There's a real hunger about them.
Absolutely. I think, again, last week, the milestone of John Anstess and the fact that they played Nightcliff at Nightcliff, I think turned a switch to button, or turned on a switch to actually kick them in the gear. And they've obviously come out with a vengeance in this game here this afternoon.
So Tars are going to pay for the fact that the Saints weren't at their best a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Tars said, well, didn't have anything to do with us. Well, you will pay. So they've already kicked 7 goals in this quarter. They kicked 6 in the first. And Tars haven't hardly been up in their forward line. And they're still stuck on the 2 goals, one they had at quarter time, and we've played 14 minutes of this second term.
Well, this is the goal scoring end, so I guess we're always going to expect St Mary's to dominate the scoring in this quarter, but still need Waratahs to get in there and try and win the football.
Knocked out wide there and went to the player there in McMurtry, got it inside 50. Now the whistle's gone free kick here. I think it might be a St Mary's free kick. Is it getting up from the bottom of it was Josh Heath?
Yeah, just a slight push in the back was the call from the umpire.
So Joshy Heath, wonder how many games he's played, Jared? He's been around forever, hasn't he?
Well, actually, he played a fair bit of footy with in the earlier days with Banks, I understand, and just decided to come out to St Mary's and have a go at trying to make it to the Premier League, and he hasn't looked back since.
So Tars trying to work their way up at that other end of the ground, but it's not working for them yet. And Ben Rioli runs in and just smothers that ball down and goes through for another minor score. Not a lot to be gained out of that, but it could have spilled to the advantage of someone running in to get a goal. Ben didn't know that it was going to be knocked through for a minor score, so it's the kick in again. Here it is, thumping kick, that's a good one. Gets outside 50, McFarlane under the footy. I watched him last week, Peter McFarlane. You could see him getting just a little frustrated down in that forward line. He was working hard, but the ball just wasn't being delivered that well to him. He likes it delivered where he can take those marks. You know, he's a player marking forward. They just weren't giving him every opportunity to do that. His hardest kick. Over the back, Althouse waited for it, bounced away from him. Gathered in this time by Jack Long, kicks forward. And Tars come away now with it. They've given it off to Nelson Purantatameri inside 50. Icky Valasia, the bulldozer on harder, drove him back over 50 and drew the free kick.
Yeah, there's just no system, unfortunately, for Waratahs trying to get out of the back line at the moment. Yeah.
Icky Valasia's kick. Wanted McFarlane to take the mark. Players like McFarlane, though, they just get benefit from these outings, don't they? Time out on the field just counts for so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, he's missed a few games early in the season, but I think today's game, if they can, I guess, continue this type of football and this level of pressure and skill, I think everyone's going to get a fair bit out of it.
He's going to kick goals today, McFarlane. There's no doubt if they can get some ball to him. If he becomes the go-to player. He's down in that forward pocket now.
Herberson to Marius Clark.
So Marius, son of, brother of Xavier and Raf. Saints Junior.
And Francis.
What's he done? He's missed minor score. Yeah, did he play junior footy with Saints?
Marius, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think all the Clark boys did that and did it extremely well, obviously.
Yeah, and their dad was a Xavier as well, wasn't he? The late Xavier Clark. I remember him playing for Saints all those years ago. Great player.
And Andrew as the older brother.
Okay. So this little kick out's cut off here, and Henry Labastide is going to have a shot. 18.5 minutes gone. 13-10 to 2-1. Football exhibition by the green and goals here today.
Yeah, it's not good signs, Charlie. I think most of the Tars players are just walking around with their heads down at the moment.
And this from inside 50 is going to swing out to the left, and lucky to scrape in for a minor score in the end.
Starting to huddle in the middle of the field, so hopefully the football is just going to go straight down the middle.
And Bugler, you can see the frustration there. He sort of said, who am I supposed to kick it to? Where are you? No one there, so I'll kick it to myself. Went out wide, got it over the top. So with a hand on it, if it goes to the boundary line, it's okay. Gee, lucky not to get a free kick for that. I mean, what do you do, Daniel Lewis? He never anywhere near the footy and he was slung to the ground. So Tars get the free kick out on. No, they don't. It's on the wing. It's got to go back to Saints are going to have it, so it's in the hands of McMurtry. From the wing, kicks forward. Leroy Larson takes the mark. Carl Load screaming. Not Carl Load. It wasn't Carl Load, down inside 50. Gets over the back. Wilson could taste it, but it never quite got there. Got knocked away from him. Out to Cooper. Onto the loose ball he goes. Goes backwards with a handball. And they can bring this forward now with Jack Williams. Low kick. Wanted Ben Rioli. He's overrun the footy, Ben Rioli. High up and under kick here. And a good mark reaching up there. Musgrave takes a strong mark. Back to Iggy Vallejo from a long way out. Kicks long. Ewing. Good position. Read it beautifully. That's a great mark. And then just went on with the handball. Gave it to Wilson, who runs in and kicks the goal. Wow.
Yeah, they're just doing what they want at the moment, Charlie. St Mary's. I was just going to say, I think it's a much better matchup, though, for Waratahs. Liam O'Connor on Ben Rioli. It was a good one-on-one contest previously. But Darren Ewing, obviously, having the upper hand against Kennaway at the moment and just feeding off the football to a unmanned Wilson in the goal square.
So just look at that. Ewing's got 4 goals. Justin Wilson's got 3. Justin Cooper's got 3. And Ben Rioli's got 2. So they're all the multiples. The others, Herbison and Larson, have kicked a goal each. And, gee, when you look across at Tars on the other side of the page, you just see back there Luke Harder and Cole McBean. And they don't look like they're going to kick a goal unless something happens back there in defence for Saints. There's a strong mark, and he's called a play on. What the umpire called there, holding the ball now. No, umpire pointed the wrong way. It was a high tackle, he said. And so the free kick awarded here to Tars. Right down to the goal. That's going to get right over the top. And Saints save it. Gee, you'd think you'd like to get a goal out of it, wouldn't you? Diving mark there. Musgrave in the back pocket. McLean wins it. Good kick. Tradia McMurtry up towards the wing, out of bounds on the full.
Brings our boundary rider Kieran into the action.
So ball in the hands here of Jack Hatcher. He's out on the wing on the grandstand side. What can he do to lift his team? They're in all sorts of trouble here. They're in total disarray. They kick forward, ball knocked to ground. Down there is Fraser Jennings. Did he get a chance to it? No, too many St Mary's players in defence. Iggy Vallejo run through 3 or 4 of them, although they were just standing there with nothing to do with this game. Gives it to a running teammate who can run this all the way downfield. Williams with the kick is a beauty. Finds Ewing a long way upfield. Justin Wilson on the run down into the pocket. Now this will test him. He's going to go short to Cameron Islet. It's a little closer to goal.
Tell you one thing, I've never seen Darren Ewing pass the ball off so much, so he must be in a good mood today. But great attack on the football by Iggy Vallejo on the back flank there, just to split the pack, and the run of Herbison having 3 or 4 bounces. And again, if you've got that kind of movement and the skill level where it hits Darren Ewing on the lead, it's very hard to defend for Waratahs.
Cameron Islet drops it beautifully, kicks at goal. He's not going to miss, and he doesn't. Shreds it straight through the middle. Islet gets his first for the match.
He adds his name to the goal kickers list, which is filling up pretty well, Charlie.
There's been Islets all over the place. They've had the women's match on earlier on here today. It was Thunder Black versus Thunder Yellow, and there was an Islet there playing as well. A Mrs. Islet by the number 16, Mrs. Barbara Islet. Wife of, I would suggest.
The better half, Charlie, absolutely. And she played pretty well.
Yeah, she had a good game. There was a youth girls game played here as well. 2 other teams played. I wish they'd give them names. They just call them black and pink, which doesn't seem to be too imaginative, especially when you're trying to give the score. The black team won 16-10 to the pink team 5-4, which means nothing. They
need to work on that for next year.
Yeah, come up with something else for next year, I think. Hard work in there. That's Raf Clark. He got the footy, but he has to turn it over. So we're 24 minutes gone. Be a reasonably long quarter, I think. They've kicked 9 goals, St Mary's, in this quarter. That's a kick to Harder. So he got one, didn't he, late in that first quarter? Chance to kick one here late in the second. Wonder how he's feeling. You said he's signed up in the TIO NTFL. Wonder how he's feeling playing in this this competition, in particular this team. They just haven't found anything yet, have they? Really? We don't want to be critical of them, but it must be tough for players like him, you think. Harders kick right to the goal line. Saints get back there and knock it through for minor score.
Yeah, I think obviously the relationship that some of these players have with Coach Tim Weatherald is a driving factor, and they just need a few more players to buy in and get that consistency at training and get that consistency in the games and start building some momentum.
Anthony Long flirting with death back there. Here's the snap around the body.
Here we go.
It's a rolling ball. I reckon that's gone all the way. That might be Jeff McDonald. He's kicked the goal close with it with the siren. No, it wasn't.
It's the one they wanted, and actually really good to see that Waratah's all the players are coming in and getting around McDonald there. It was a good tackle. Iggy tried to take the defenders on, but it was a great tackle, created the turnover, forward pressure, and great snap by McDonald.
So they've kicked a goal in the quarter. 3-2 now. Tars move to St Mary's 15-11. Big lead here close to half-time. They led 6-6 to 2-1 at quarter time. Darren Ewing's got 4 goals. Justin Cooper 3. Justin Wilson 3. Ben Rioli 2. Larson, Cameron Eilert and Herbison the other goal kickers. So McBean, McDonald and Harder the goal kickers for Tars. Can they push forward again? They can't get this away. Up work there, Henry Labastida. And a long way out in front is Jared. Well, he let it bounce to Ewing. Normally that would just roll towards goal slowly and give him time to run back and pick it up. That time it didn't.
He's just on at the moment, Darren Ewing. He read that ball to bounce that way.
Yeah.
It did skirt off to the boundary more so than the goal square, but he knew exactly where that ball was going. So he's on song today.
You just wonder when players like that, the way their eyes tell them something completely different, I reckon. When they look at it, they see something that we don't see. Here's a snapshot and through for a goal. It was from right on the front there, Labastida, I think it was. Or was it Heath?
Heath, Josh Heath.
Joshy Heath.
So he adds his name to the score sheet. And again, just the positioning of the footy. So the boundary throw-in obviously deep inside the forward 50 for St Mary's, and the way they set up around that stoppage just covers all bases, and just an opportunist goal for Josh Heath.
16-11. Gee, that 20 goals of mine was going to be a big underestimation, I reckon. Saints could pile it on here in this second term because they've hardly used any petrol tickets, I reckon, in this half. This is a training drill for them. The kick down forward. Oh, big climb down there. Almost a strong mark. Was it there for Lewis? Cooper gets it anyway. Goes looking for Ewing. Ewing taps it back into the pocket. Soccers it off the ground. Leaves it in the goal square. It just didn't go through for him, but he did everything right. It just didn't go where he wanted to in the end. Well, what a quarter of footy. Lopsided game it is, but St Mary's showing their awesome power. They've come out here today to tell us all, don't you forget us this year. 16-11, they lead Waratah 3-2. Some comments from Jared Eilert.
10-goal quarter, Charlie. Obviously, St Mary's are dominating all factors of the game, possession. Yeah, it's like you said. I think you said it's a bit of a training drill at the moment. It is the goal scoring end, so we do expect Waratahs to come out in the third quarter to actually put on a bit of pressure and try and claw their way back into this game. But they just need a few more leaders to stand up and help guys like Justin Bugler, Luke Harder, and I thought Liam O'Connor worked his way into the game in that quarter for Waratahs.
So there it is at half-time. They've come out and kicked 10 goals in that second quarter, as Jared Eilert told you. St Mary's leading 16-11 to Waratah 3-2.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tide.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kmart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing, and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket, or bikes are your business, Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jade.
Tom! High on, mate, straight out! Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on! All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
Sea-Link run ferries to and from the Tiwi Islands for the Tiwi Bombers 4 home games. Book today at sealinknt.com.au. Sea-Link run ferries to and from the Tiwi Islands for the Tiwi Bombers 4 home games. Book today at sealinknt.com.au.
G'day guys and welcome back to the NTFL Footy Show with Abby and Jackson. Now this weekend, round 7 of the TIO NTFL season sees women's round, and we're lucky enough today to be joined by current Waratah's full forward, Alex Billiter. Lauren Motlop was going to join us today as well, but unfortunately she couldn't make it. But Alex, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So Alex, Abby mentioned you played full forward. You think you've kicked her out of that position. How's your season going?
Yeah, it's been really good so far. So we've only had 4 games this season, but you know, I've had a good run around and it's been a bit hot, so dealing with the heat. Yeah, but good.
Yep, so Waratah are the powerhouse of the women's competition. Who are the teams that will challenge you the most? Obviously, you're going to be confident and say that we'll win the flag and all this, but who are your biggest competitors?
Yeah, so I reckon Wanderers will give us a good go this year. Quite a few girls came over from soccer, so, you know, they're quite good at kicking. And Tracy's always a tough one. I know they had a few girls out when we played them last time, but I reckon they'll also be a strong team this year.
Yep. So a lot of the women's footballers we see running around in the NTFL at the moment have got a background in another sport. Could you please tell us your background and what made you start playing Australian football?
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a varied background. I grew up playing soccer, so hence the kicking. Still learning to catch though, working on the hands. Yeah. But volleyball is another sport that I play, so yeah, so used to that kind of up and down movement. But what originally got me started was the girls from my soccer team went over and started playing for Tracy last year. Yep. So I went down and had a little look and said, oh, I think I could do that, you know? So yeah, just went along and had a kick and ended up loving it.
Yep.
Beautiful. Now, you personally have had a good start to the season this year. You're currently sitting second on the leading goal kicker with 15 as your tally at this point in time. As you mentioned, Waratahs are currently 4 from 4, having the 2 byes in the first 6 rounds. Wanderers are incredibly strong. St Mary's and Tracy Village round out the top 4, but who's your premiership contention? Obviously, trying not to be too biased towards Waratahs. Yeah, who's going to take out that premiership?
Well, since, you know, I'm donning the red and white, I'd have to go for Tars. But like I said earlier, I think Wanderers are actually going to give us a good run, and we haven't had a chance to test them out yet. So, yeah, be pretty tough, I reckon. Yeah, looking forward to that top of the table clash, Waratahs versus Wanderers on, I think it's December the 14th. So I would like to also give a quick mention to the Pints Football Club. This is the first year that they have had a women's team represented. From all reports, they have about 40 girls on their playing list and phenomenal numbers at every training session. They have won their last 2 games of the season against Buffs and Southern Districts, and they've picked up a lot of, well, fantastic players from the NTFL competition, including Samantha Barnett, Katie Stretter and Cassie Henderson, all running through that midfield. But they've also got a lot of you know, athletic girls from other sports, and I think that once they really get the hang of the rules and learning how to read the play, they'll definitely be a force to reckon with. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fantastic that they've added another team to the competition. Just shows that people in the territory are really embracing women's sport and women's footy in general. Yeah, I think there was a statistic thrown out there earlier in the year that the women's or the female participation rates had increased by 46% nationwide, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, as I mentioned, this weekend, round 7 of the TIO NTFL season is women's round, and we'll see some of the best territory talent tackle it out at TIO Stadium. The youth girls are taking place at 12:30 p.m. The women's game will be from 2:30 p.m. And basically, the NT Academy selectors have got together and picked 2 sides. For the women's comp in particular, 50 girls, 25 a side. We want it to be as even as possible. We want it to be a 1-point game to really showcase the top-end talent. Alex, it's your first time being involved in the academy? It is, yes. Very much looking forward to it. Very excited for the opportunity. It should be a good hit out, you know, given the heat wave. We'll see how we all go. And what preparations go into Saturday, and what can we expect to see? Yeah, so I think there's a bit of a training roster on this week. So it seems that every night we'll be down there having a kick and getting used to each other. And then on the weekend, you know, the 2:30 start. Like I said, I think, or like you said, it'd be good to see a 1-point game. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So Alex, I don't want to pull any punches here, but the reality is there's a lot of men out there in particular that still don't rate women's football, for whatever reason that may be. So do you have a message for those that still aren't quite convinced about the standard and, you know, the spectacle of women's football at the moment?
Yeah, I think, you know, this year the first televised professional women's game was a great start to really promoting women's football, and I know Victoria has a league starting up. I think it's a Premier League starting up. The 10 teams. Yeah, which is fantastic, and again, you know, really promoting women's football nationally. There's some really strong players that come out of the territory. It's really good to see the girls down here. But you know, it's just one of those things. Time will tell, won't it?
Yeah, exactly right. So leading into that, I suppose, you did mention there are a lot of young, talented girls coming through the ranks. So what advice would you give to any young girl that may be thinking about starting football that could potentially be a little bit scared off by the fact that it's traditionally a masculine sport, a male-dominated sport? So do you have any advice to any young girls out there that may wish to start?
Yep. The tackles don't hurt as hard as you think they do. So that's originally what put me off. I'm coming from a soccer background, you know, it's a non-contact sport theoretically. So originally I was a bit concerned about being tackled. You know, I'm not a big girl. But yeah, it's actually, it's really good. You know, it's a good run around and it doesn't hurt as bad as you think it does. So get out there and give it a go.
Yeah, and I suppose the social aspect of it all is another advantage to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So another thing that's really close to your heart is the No More campaign, which you work with Charlie King, obviously in promoting, raising awareness, I should say, to domestic violence and, you know, how Australia and men in particular should link together and say no more. I know the Nycliffe Football Club and St Mary's Football Club linked arms before the game.
Yep.
So would you like to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we work with sporting clubs all around the territory to help them develop domestic violence action plans. So we'll sit down and have a chat to them and, you know, make them realise how powerful they actually are as a sporting group and how much effect they can have on the community and the members in the community. So in the NTFL, there are two clubs, like you said, Nycliffe and Tiwi Bombers as well, actually have a completed, we call them DVAP, so domestic violence action plans. But it's really good to see the clubs starting to come on board and realise that they can affect social change in a really positive way, not just through sport, but, you know, just the wider community.
Yeah, but I think everyone out there should really get behind and support that cause.
Yeah.
But leading into that, thank you very much, Alex, for joining us. Good luck this week and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tide.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kmart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Kmart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Kmart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kenites high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jade.
Tom! Play on, Matty, straight out! Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on! Yes! All clear.
You are one of 140,000 people living in a cyclone-affected area this wet season. You need food and at least 10 litres of water per person in your cyclone kit to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Be prepared. Brought to you by NTES and TIO.
And welcome back. Second half underway here. And gee, what a task in front of Tars. Down 16-11 to 3-2. And St Mary's just have got it working pretty well. We'll see what Tars are made of, Jared.
Yeah, absolutely. The challenge is right there in front of them. A couple of changes, Harder onto the ball, McDonald onto the wing, and we see them have the first forward entry for the third quarter. So this is a goal scoring end. We expect them to get some more of the football and see if they can put some scoreboard pressure on.
Good kick across field there by our good friend out there in Iggy Vallejo. Chips it out wide here. Cooper onto it on the wing. He'll take him on. He's got every move. He was waltzing and dancing. Now he breaks away and they get to him a little late and give him a little bit of a bump, but it didn't matter to him. He got it down about an extra 20 metres than you expected him to do, and then got it to Blake. Tars did. In the back pocket back to Bugler.
Well, that wasn't too bad. I mean, Hatchet corralled Cooper just to give him enough time for McDonald to come and help him out. So that's the teamwork that they're going to need to get themselves back into this game.
Here's Cooper again for another exhibition. Oh, he's having such fun out there. And then he threads the needle, or tried to. Justin Wilson with the giant to beat. Couldn't quite get him down. High up and under. This is going to go out of bounds on the full, is it? Yes, it is. Knocked over the boundary. I wonder if Kieran Davis can hear us down there. Let's get down to him, see what he can tell. What's the atmosphere like down there, Kieran, in a bit of a lopsided game?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty good game, but surprisingly, it's the Waratahs fans that have generated more noise than the St Mary's fans. To their credit, they're still getting behind the boys, even with the lopsided scoreline.
All right, and have you heard anything about the game over on the Tiwi Islands? A lot of people interested in.
Yeah, I can give you a final score for that one, Charlie. Yep. Tiwi won 22 goals 11 to Palmerston 15-18. Palmerston came home late, though, with 8 goals in the last quarter. Ross Tungatalam starred with 8 goals for the Bombers.
Oh, terrific. Thanks for that, Kieran. We'll get to you at three-quarter time. Big win there for the Tiwi Bombers. RT, Ross Tungatalam doing the damage, but a good comeback from Palmerston, but not enough to get home.
Yeah, well, we're talking about how close this competition is, Charlie, and that's another result that is going to inspire and give the Tiwi people a fair bit of confidence for the rest of the season.
Bugler with the kick, straight down the corridor he goes. Cameron Eilert there, they all blocked him out of the play. Harder got the footy and goes at right angles, runs it out towards the half-back line. Matt Blake under pressure from Ben Rioli, half kick, got it up towards the wing. Comes back in again. And underneath it's a strong mark taken there. Robinson started well, Robinson, and then was quiet in the second quarter. Here he is, though, picking up a touch at the start of this second half. That ball was left there by Clark, which was a good choice. Let his teammate come forward. Flooding Saints back here. Look at them everywhere. Got about 5-2, but the kick goal line's going to go all the way. It is. Saints were all caught in a cluster, and that was a goal.
Puruntara Mary, great snap at goal. And again, the benefits of having the ball in front of you and having clean skills. There was 3-on-1. St Mary's to Waratah's 1, but because he attacked the footy, kept it in front, a flick of the hands, a nice snap there by Puruntara Mary.
Yeah, that St Mary's defence were all clustered, weren't they, for some reason?
Yeah, but Waratahs controlled the football, so that was the pleasing sign. I guess transferred the play from a free kick given to Justin Bugler down fullback, and they worked the ball up to get the score on the board.
Ref Clark doing the ruck work. Tars go forward again inside their 50. Iggy Vallejo charges out there. He's dropped it. He's in trouble. He's gone. Once they grab you like that and the ball goes to ground, you're in trouble. Chance to kick 2 in a row here.
Well, this is the start that Coach Tim Witherell would have wanted from their players. I'm not sure if he would have ripped into him at half time. Sometimes that's not the best way to go about it, but whatever he said, it's certainly starting to pay off early in this third quarter.
Now, Oldhouse is having this shot, and I reckon he's missed it. He's had a couple of shots today and missed them.
Yeah, it's just those opportunities, isn't it? You do all the hard work and get the ball into the right positions, and you need to capitalise on those kind of opportunities.
So Saints now with the kick out. It was intended for Anthony Long, got very high to it. Oh, good tackle there. So Saints here being caught a couple of times now. They've gone off the boil, haven't they? Jack Williams, they're being casual running out of defence. Got to do much better than that. Scramble kick comes out of the pack, or hurried kick just lands in the field of play. You can switch off, can't you?
Absolutely. Well, the intensity's not quite there from what we saw Saints come out in the first quarter. with the first bounce, they were just on, and they've certainly come out in this third quarter half a pace off what they produced in the first half.
See if they can lift their work rate here. The throw in, Tars have it down in the forward line. They've pounced in this quarter. And they've kicked just the one goal though. Here's Saints now trying to get clear. Whistle goes, free kick picked out of it. It's going to be a St Mary's free kick, wasn't it? No, it's not. It's a Tars free kick. McDonald gets it.
Pushing the back.
He's at 50. He'll kick from just inside.
Well, if Nelson Purantarameri can do it, maybe McDonald can do it.
Loads it up, so he's going to land it right on the behind line. And Saints will concede that and give him the behind and get the footy back. Short kick into the back pocket to Luke Bath. Goes back again. And then the little kick out wide to Musgrave. Goes across. So Saints just edging this forward. Igivalejo has it now between the half-back flank and the back pocket. Kicks to the diving Josh Heath. Goes down on his knees. Kicked a goal in that second quarter. Did Josh takes the mark outside defensive 50.
It's good by Waratahs, just holding up St Mary's. They've had to do 3 or 4 big leads to try and get that ball into space, and what they're going to do is create the turnover.
Little kick off the ground there, went straight to Fraser Jennings. They can run forward here. This is O'Connor. Kicks inside 50 and Oldhouse takes the mark. He's got loose a couple of times now. And he'll load up and have a go at this. He's missed a couple. What's this one going to do? Right to the line, misses again.
Yeah, he was keen to get the ball moving, wasn't he? He didn't want to spend too much time having a set shot after the last attempt.
He says, I'm better on the run.
Yeah.
Was the same result. Back pocket. Saints on the run out now. Here's Luke Bath with the kick. Nice one too, measured beautifully straight into the hands of Rat Clark. Clark wants Leroy Larson with the bouncing ball in the middle. Pathway cleared for him cleverly by Josh Heath. Lets him run across the centre of the ground and go down towards a half-forward line. Bugler with the footy in front of him. Tapped the ground where picked up there by McFarlane, and then Ben Rioli with the short kick chips it into Darren Ewing. And they were at 6s and 7s. Darren Ewing thought about playing on, looked up, saw Bugler there and decided better of it.
Yeah, they worked pretty hard to get that ball into that position, and like I said, to credit to Waratahs, they've shut down the options up the field. Made St Mary's work pretty hard in terms of Peter McFarlane having to run 70 metres to make a lead and not get the football, but we see Darren Ewan have a shot for goal, and again, it's very noticeable, Charlie, that they're about half a step off how they started that first half.
What happens to a team like that? Just that you look at that scoreboard, I suppose, and you think, well, someone else can give 100%. I'll just stay at 90 or something. Got to do better than that. Jordan Lee gets it. And running out here is Shaper from the back pocket up towards the wing. So there's now contests around the field where there wasn't before. Into the middle. That kick found its target, but had to dive to get to it in the end, didn't he, Lewis? Through the hands of Jack Musgrave. Long way out, Jack Musgrave. Don't think he can kick it from there, but he'll go with a short kick for Cooper on the lead, and Cooper takes the mark.
And that's the benefit of having Darren Ewing in your team. Everyone sort of goes to him and expect him to make the lead and get on the end of it, but Justin Cooper just slips out to the side into space on the fat side, and a nice easy mark for him for an attempt at his 4th goal, Charlie.
Here he comes in distance, not a problem. He's gone back a long way. 45-degree angle, crosses 50, gets to about 35, loads up and kicks it out to the right, leaves it out there, minus score. A lot of build-up, anti-climax in the end. Could have had 4, stays on 3. So score check here, St Mary's 16-13, Waratah 4-5. So what we've seen in this quarter, after almost 10 minutes of play, St Mary's have kicked a couple of points and Tars have kicked 1 goal 3. So Tars winning the quarter, Jared.
Yeah, there you go. They certainly come out a lot harder and a bit more focused, and definitely more intensity than what we saw in the first half. St Mary's have taken a half a step back and they've missed the last 2 or 3 shots at goal. Henry Labastida for his chance to get on the scoreboard.
That's 50 there. He crosses the pink line, kicks at goal and stays out to the right. It's amazing when you watch a footy match and you see a team just all of a sudden start to shut down, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary. It's like getting on a train that all of a sudden puts the brakes on. Here's the kick. It's an ugly looking thing. Gets out toward Lewis, who takes a nice mark. Got high. Gangly player.
He's very mobile. I guess very light, but very athletic. Doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. Diving in at the footy and that kind of thing, and that's the traits that you like to see from your ruckman and your centre half forwards and your fullbacks that are pretty good in the air, but they also like to get their hands dirty on the ground.
Leroy Larson got that and a task as well associated with it, but he did finish up with the footy and he's capable of kicking this. He's kicked only one today. When McFarlane's down, it's Larson you expect to start kicking, and that's taking Ewing out of the picture, but when McFarlane's down, it's Larson you want to see start kicking some goals, don't you? Here he is having a shot, and that's not a good one. It's going to not have the distance, but Mark right there on the line, was it? No rush through for a minor score.
No, almost. Obviously, Larson not making the distance, and Peter McFarlane almost snatching that on the goal line, but unable to complete it. It's a great mark by Althouse, who's come up the field.
He's had a good third quarter, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Going to go backwards with it. Not sure the value in that, but at least he found Bugler, so it's in some pretty safe hands. Bugler goes short to Kenaway if he wants. He doesn't. He's put it up to a nest of green and goals. And there was a little push in the back, I reckon, so Tars have got a free kick.
McMurtry had no right to jump up at that. His role is to stay on the ground, and he just gave away the free kick with a bit of a push in the back.
Here's Luke Harder. Whoa, what a climb. That was a terrific mark, wasn't it?
The umpire has played it. And it could be Jack Musgrove on the ground, who has started this third quarter pretty well. Was it Herbison? But what a fantastic mark by Lewis. We just spoke about his athleticism.
He's Harder. He's going to take a bounce and challenge him to run him down. Went with the handball, and then he continues to run. He's going to get it back, which he really didn't want. But his handball is a good one. Oh, they've mucked it up there. He got it out to Godden. Godden took his eyes off it. Then his second effort was pretty good. Went back to Harder. His job is not done. Goes to the pocket with the kick. Althouse finds him down there. Wow, he's having an amazing quarter, Basil Althouse.
That is sensational football. Well done, Luke Harder. He had to work pretty hard for that, and a great handball out to Sam Godden. And as we've seen in the first half, it was just riddled with that last possession going into the forward 50. Harder had to do it himself again, but he managed to find Althouse for his, I think, third shot at goal for this quarter.
He deserves one, doesn't he? He leans back on this one. He measured it nicely. I reckon he's got it. He has the most difficult kick, and he's got the goal. Basil Althouse gets his first after quite a few shots.
Well, it just goes to show you do the work, you push up the ground and create some opportunities, and you get rewarded.
So
Mitch Herbison has been taken into the rooms, boys. There might be some concussion problems there. He came off a bit dazed.
Okay. Keep us across that.
Yeah, well, he was the springboard for Lewis's mark about a minute ago, and obviously would have copped a knee to the back of the head.
Was some mark too, Lewis, wasn't he?
He gets up there.
There he is jumping again. Now he's gone to ground. He's fighting this. Cameron Eilert with some hard work in the middle. Tries to link it up with the running Jack Williams. Williams goes to ground, ball and all. Umpire Mark Noonan says, "Give it to me." I'll ball it up. So Mark Noonan there, that's the umpire there. He was retired last year. Gave us the exclusive. He said, "That's it." And then he's back. He's doing it again this year. I didn't think he could stay away from it that long. He's a good umpire, and he's the best one to have.
It's addictive in footy
games. Yeah, he's Cooper. Out wide, little kick comes forward there by Jack Williams into the hands of Carl Lode. Lode's kick in. Oh, gee, just a little too high. It fell out of the hand. Went to Jackson Bowen. Cameron Eilert, the workhorse. He'll come away with this somehow, won't he? Let him around the legs. Now back here. Here's Clark.
Yeah.
Ralph Clark's kick. Good. Oldhouse again cuts it off. Wow, what a quarter of footy.
He's working up the ground, isn't he?
And nice mark taken there by Ralph Clark on the wing. I'm not sure where Oldhouse is playing. He maybe he's a ruck rover or something. Because he was up forward for most of the game.
He's just been given a licence and it's worked.
Some people just have, I mean, they may not look 100% fitter, but they have the footy smarts, don't they? They can read it. They know how to take the shortcuts and all the other things to still get the footy.
As McMurtry just went back with the flight of the ball there, so great courage, obviously with Long and Harder involved with some bigger bodies, but he's okay. Looks like he's been given a job on Harder.
Yes, well, it has to be quite a big job. Hugh McMurtry. Throw in here in the wing. 16 minutes gone, 16-15 to 5-5. So Saints haven't kicked a goal in this quarter. Tars have kicked a couple. Handball back to the running Labastida through the corridor he goes. Kicks for McFarlane, takes the mark. They were holding on to him too. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, are you? Got to let him go. Drops short. Ewing takes the wide berth, gets onto the right boot, punches for goal. Come a long way out. He of anything and he's got 5. Darren Ewing gets another one.
Just again a nice at the football. He had the open space. He's always going to turn on his left foot. I think some people forget, some defenders forget that he's actually a left footer, but he always spins onto that left foot and geez, he's lethal inside the 50.
It's a good night out for him. His first game for the year, and we're in round 7, and he's got 5 goals on the board already, and you know there's still a quarter and a bit to go.
Yeah, well, we'll expect him, if he can keep up this form, expect him to start featuring on the leading goal kickers list, which currently sits with William Farrer at 38 goals and Keaton Holt-Tubbs from Palmerston with 15.
And then you see there what he's in 2, 4, 6, about 10th position. Matthew Bricknell with 9. He could just about catch him tonight.
Yeah, well, he could.
He'd come away with a haul here. And McFarlane sees it safely over out there on the boundary line. Valestro with him.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. Valestro has done a good job so far.
There's Wilson. He started magnificently. We haven't seen much of him in this third quarter, though.
No, again, I think they've just taken the foot off the pedal here. St Mary's, after coming out of the halftime break. So these kind of games, you want to try and play 4 quarters and get as much out of it as you possibly can.
Gee, the Larson kick to McFarlane was a beauty. Just a beauty. Exquisite skills. Just caressed it. It's like those Greg Chappell flicks off the hip that used to go out to the boundary line in front of square leg. You might remember them, Jared. And I remember reading somewhere they said he doesn't hit the ball, he just dismisses it from his presence. Well, the kick was just exquisite. McFarlane directly out in front, bangs away at goal. He's going to get it right on the line. I reckon it's going to be touched. It is.
Yeah, well, that's his first shot at goal. So that's over half a game of football that McFarlane has been held, and he hasn't has a goal next to his name so far.
Justin Bugler with the kick, turned it over. Good mark taken there by Marius Clark. Now he can get this distance without any problem.
You see older brother Raph asking for it on the 50. Let him kick it, Raph.
You can't hear him. Marius having to go. That's a good kick. He struck that very well, but it then swings. Landed a bit short. And the whistle has gone. I think it's going to be a free kick here. Mark Noonan's picked a free kick out. It's going to be a Tars free kick, is it? Oh, he's responded to the call of the goal umpire. 2-on-1 here. Yeah, Marius, you wanted it, you got it. Mark McLean had a milestone this year, didn't he, McLean?
Yeah, round 1. 200 games, 250 games.
250, I reckon it might have been. It's been around such a long time.
That round 1 game against Wanderers.
Here's Fraser Jennings on the left boot, back into the corridor with the kick. Nice, gives it off to Simpson.
Nice kick.
I'm looking for Oldhouse up there. And where he is, he's back at the other end of the ground, I think. Harder's down there. It's not going to go to Harder, though. We waited. I'll tell you what, they had him waiting at the back there was McDonald. It didn't get there. Iggy Vallejo on the clean-up and then kicks it out wide. That's done well. Straight into the hands there of Henry Labastida. Gets on the wing. He can take a couple of bounces from here if he wants. His kick for Cooper's going to drop short. Cooper gets it at 50. Back infield, one way and then the other. Does the turn, the old shimmy, and then goes with the left boot for McFarlane. Some work to do for Peter McFarlane. Picks it up. Got a sloppy old handball away. Tried to get it off to Joshy Heath there. Onto the left boot he goes. Snaps and misses out to the left minor score.
Great defensive pressure there by Waratah's. Justin Cooper's pretty much done what he's wanted for most of this game, and the defensive effort trapped him.
Here's Cameron Eilert. He can run in and kick a goal from there. Lines up and has a go. I reckon he's got it. Cam Eilert gets the goal. He does. Saints needed someone to lift him, and Cameron Eilert said, well, it looks like it's going to be up to me. He's got his second.
Yeah, again, Waratah is just turning the football over with their kick-ins, and you just can't allow those sort of opportunities that easy to St Mary's. And we know Cameron Eilert is a very efficient kicker as a set shot and on the run, and he doesn't normally miss those ones.
So he's in the centre, so they got him on ball. He was back defensive for a while, wasn't he? You called earlier on.
Yeah, obviously Coach Rick Nolan was playing a few players in different positions, and it was working. Obviously Ben Rioli having a great first half up forward, and Cam Eilert starting on the half-back flanks for a bit of a swap of a role in that space.
Got it again, Cameron Eilert. Got the handball out. He's got the runner in Josh Heath going forward inside 50. Good strong mark there taken on the run. Jeff McDonald charges away from the half-back line up towards the wing. Promising build-up here, but the kick wasn't the best. It's going to give Iggy Vallejo a chance, and he'll concede the boundary line, but he cut off what looked to be a promising move.
Yeah, well read by McDonald, and that's what you want to see him do. Just cut those forward entries off and take a few bounces and clear the football out of their 50.
So throwing out there, 22 minutes gone, third term. All St Mary's here, 16-11 to 3-2 at half-time, 18-18 to 5-5 now. So Fraser Jennings with it. Drops it in a little short, and the runner can come away with it is Daniel Lewis. Someone's gone to ground out there. I'm not sure who that was. St Mary's player was just ran over by Simpson. Might have been Wilson. Wilson working hard back there. He doesn't like getting beaten. Ball in the hands here of Kenaway. From the half-back line up over the wing. Mini pack forms here. Saints have players at the back. Iggy Vallejo amongst them. Handball to Cameron Eilert. Comes back in. Labastida. McLean. They're on the run. Bath with it. Off the left boot goes. Kick up towards Ewing, who goes to ground. Cooper arrives. Cooper's been hit around the head diving on the foot. He's going to pick a free kick out of it. So Cooper's got it. Will he look for Ewing? He should do. Ewing's in the pocket. He's gone to Cameron Eilert, instead takes a good mark.
Yeah, worrying signs here for Waratah. I think it might be Angus Clark on the far side. He's been down the ground for a while. He's just starting to move and start walking back to position now, but he's certainly got some issues with his leg. And if he comes off, that's a big blow for Waratahs.
18-18 to 5-5. Cameron Eilert, 2 goals in the match, one in the second, one in the third. This not beyond him the journey. Angles not a problem, all but directly in front. Comes in Eilert, kicks it goal, strikes it pretty well. That's a good looking kick, that's a goal. He's got 3. And Saints just start to switch that engine back on again, I reckon. 19-18 now to 5-5.
Yeah, nice kick by Justin Cooper, and he had to work pretty hard, second and third efforts to win that football. He won the free kick, and Cameron Eilert just floating down from the midfield inside the forward 50, and like I said, he's pretty accurate with his goal kicking, set shot or on the run.
So 2 goals, so St Mary's win the quarter now, 3-7 to 2-3. But on late, they did it in a few minutes. So goals in this quarter to Saints, 2 to Cameron Eilert and 1 to Darren Ewing. And 2 goals to Tarzan this quarter. Nelson Purantatameri with that beauty that Jared told you about, and Basil Oldhouse, who had about 4 goes at it, but finally got one.
I just don't understand the midfield setup for Waratahs at the moment. They're they're just allowing Mark McLean or allowing one of their runners to get a free run at the football, and Daniel Lewis is actually winning the taps. I'll just be going man on man to actually make it a contest.
Leroy Larson directly out in front. He's got 1 goal today. Gets in close to the man on the mark, and that'll cause him to miss kick it out to the left. Find a score. So 19-19 now, St Mary's. 5 goals, 5. Nice if you like the numbers. 19-19 to 5-5. Dominic McCormack, who calls the footy for ABC local radio, loves it when those numbers all work out okay. See, good fisting work there, knocks the ball to ground. And then overrunning it down there is Jack Long. Cameron Islet back there. There's Jack Long still doing some of the work. Kick out cleverly to Cooper. Cooper. He loves to dance with them for a while, but he's not going to do that this time. The short kick goes down to Ben Rioli along the wing. Rioli has it, goes with a long kick for Justin Wilson. He's got a paddock in front of him, Wilson. He's going to look for Ewing. He tried to get it to him. It didn't get over the top. They've cut it off. Carl Lode was there as well. The kick comes out in the direction here of Harder, and Luke Harder takes a strong mark across the half-back defensive line. It's a much improved effort by Tars in this third quarter.
Absolutely. Able to convert some of their hard work into goals and shots at goal. Obviously, it's not going to be enough to get them into striking distance in the last quarter, which is going to be a big ask into the breeze. But there is some credibility and I guess some positiveness out of half-time.
Raf Clark gets it on 50, runs into an open goal, kicks and misses. He can't believe it. How did I miss that? Bugler, busy as usual, brings the ball back into play. Usually finds a task. It's no different this time. Back to Bugler again. Numbers here, if they can use it well. A fumble's not going to help. Leroy Larson there with it. The ball stays in play, and Ben Rioli did very well to just knock it straight across to Jack Williams. Went to the top of the square. Ball lands free. Cameron Islet will get to it. He can go out wide with the handball. He doesn't. He goes instead to Raf Clark. Goes around his body and has kicked a goal right on the siren. It's a good goal. So the quarter belonged to St Mary's, didn't it, in the end? And that was a terrific goal there, kicked by Raf Clark. And they have a very handy lead here at three-quarter time.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 4-goal quarter to St Mary's in the third quarter there. So they missed a lot of opportunities. To Waratah's credit, though, they actually put on a fair bit of pressure and got some scoreboard results as well.
So we'll see what Saints want to do in this last quarter. They may have just had a little bit of a rest there and plan to finish really strongly in this match. So some questions to be answered. Can they get beyond 30 goals in this match? Because they certainly have Tars at their mercy. And more importantly, can Darren Ewing get into double figures with his goal kicking? He's got 5. Three-quarter time here, the Saints in front. 20 goals, 20. Waratah's 5-5.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tide.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kmart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Sports has got you covered with 50 for a great range of great brands at great prices. Get in store or shop online at Kmart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1, bun with icing. No, pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Jade.
Tom! Fire! Matty, straight out! Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on! Yes! All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Here we go for the last quarter here. Welcome back to the TIO Stadium, St Mary's 2020 leading Waratahs 5-5. Jared Eilert with me and Kieran Davis down there on the boundary line. Kieran, what did you hear?
Well, I went down to the Waratahs huddle, and Tim Weatherald was really optimistic about that quarter. He liked the way they made St Mary's work for the goals they scored, and they got a couple on the scoreboard as well. He wants them to play possession football in the last quarter, really make St Mary's work hard to get the ball. They want to control the game, finish the game with some respect.
All right, they might just get that because that wasn't a bad effort there in that third quarter from them. Probably the best effort from Tars that we've seen for some time.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks for that info, Kieran. That's and the message from Coach Tim Weatherald is spot on. Make St Mary's work, make them have to, chase, tackle, earn their football. Because in the first half, what we saw was, a free-flowing St Mary's clinic.
Let's see what happens in this last quarter. Some questions to be answered here. Wilson to take it out of the middle. Drops it awkwardly, pumps it forward. Worked well for him. Got it to Carl Load. Who knows the awkward kick for Wilson, how to mark it. Has it outside 50 and then pumps it along. Ewing using the body. Ewing, one hand, got to the mark and then just slipped out of his hands. An amazing effort that didn't quite pay off in the end. Tars can clear it out towards the half-back line. Push towards the boundary line. Cooper looking for the footy. He's not going to get it. Seen safely over alongside the behind post. And that's where it will stay for a boundary line throw-in.
Almost a miraculous mark there.
Wasn't that something? Goodness me.
Almost stuck. But this is the matchup we wanted. We wanted Dugler on Ewing and see the familiar faces go toe-to-toe.
Snap out of the pack is through for a minor score. So Tars will get it back. Bugler doesn't particularly want to kick it in. He'll leave it for a teammate to do, and he might run off there himself into the back pocket. No, he doesn't. Here's the kick. The punch from the back was pretty good, Oldhouse. Had a terrific third quarter, the number 28.
Sensational third quarter. He's one of the reasons why Waratahs were able to, build some of that respect that Kieran was talking about through effort and through getting some reward through his efforts.
So throw Lewis from the back. Tap down was good to Bath. Standing start. Pumps it up towards the forward. Ewing with a little hold out. Got to the footy. Just couldn't quite get it. Ben Rioli with the handball. Finishes up out in the direction of Raf Clark. Goes around with the kick. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. Some smothering effort by Tars down there.
Yeah, well, that's twice now. We've seen Ewan try to take that mark. Maybe he's going to have to try and get two hands to it.
So the ball comes back out to Harder up on the half-back line. We're just hearing some whispers about the game coming up in a minute. Southern Districts to play Darwin. We're hearing that Southern Districts has got a player from the Melbourne Demons, Simon Buckley, lining up for them today. We've seen a number, I think there's been maybe 10 AFL players we've seen this year. Is it something like that, Jared?
At least, Charlie. Well, Southern Districts alone, Mark Jamar, Robert Copeland, Jared Brennan, Richard Tamley. I don't know if he's played his first game yet for the season for Districts, but obviously he's on their list. So plenty of AFL influence in the NTFL season in the early parts of it.
Players wanting to come up and have a go. If you're watching this somewhere in southern parts of Australia, you might be a bit of a footballer yourself. Here's a competition you can come and be part of. Ben Rioli with the kick out wide. Leroy Larson, good mark. Takes it, done it well. Balestro couldn't do much about that. Kick to Cooper, who just wandered down into the forward line. No one was responsible for him, and he took an easy mark down there.
Again, Angus Clark was, I guess, in the right spot, but he was more worried about Darren Ewing and filling the space and the hole up in front of him, and Justin Cooper just floated down and was able to get the easy chest mark.
Well, he's Cooper, Cam Eilert, Justin Wilson each. Right, second position on today's goal kicking for Saints. If he slots this one, I don't think he has. He's missed it. Minor score. Mr. Few, that's inaccurate kicking, Saints now. 20 goals, 22, I think it is, or 23.
Around half time was 16-12 and 16 goals to 12 points, and the accuracy was right up. So like I said, they're just taking the foot off the pedal a bit, and that's what happens. You miss your shots at goal, you don't take the first grabs, and you put yourselves under a little bit more pressure.
Here's Leroy Larson. Outside 50. He's kicked one goal only in this match in the second term. He drops this pretty well and he leaves it out to the right. Minor score again. I reckon he's kicked at least 4 points today, isn't he, Leroy Larson?
And go back to your comment, Charlie, about St Mary's making a statement saying, "Don't forget about us. We're still here. We're around the mark." But for them to actually underline and make sure that statement stuck, they needed to go on with this game. So again, to Waratah's credit, they're making a game of it and getting some of that respect back.
Yeah, and that respect's a big thing. I know Saints in the past, there's been times when teams have actually played them, and I've said over the years, calling the footy, that sometimes when teams go out and play St Mary's, a bit like when the rat looks at the rattlesnake. You just know you're not going to win, right? As soon as you walk out on the ground, because you know the reputation, you know how they're playing. Saints had the opportunity today to just send that strongest possible message to all the other teams in the comp that you don't want to mess with us. When you come out to us, come up against us, you're going to know about it. And they haven't done that anywhere well enough today, I don't think.
No, certainly not in the second half. They had a real good opportunity to just go on with this. Mind you, they've had 43 scoring shots, but I guess the way they started this game, they were on.
Yeah, here's Ewing in front position. Can he mark the ball? No. He's equal to him, Bugler, and he's just the man for him. He's making it tough for Darren Bewing. The kick-out's a beauty too, right out there for Tars. They've got it across their half-back line. They can have it in short if they want to big Angus Clark. That's where it goes. The big man's got to go all the way down to pick it up, and then he falls to the ground. They took his legs out from underneath him. He's unlucky not to get a free kick. Valestro going backwards with the footy. Kick around the body came from Simpson, and a good mark taken out there. So Tars have it across their half-back line.
So Robinson pops up again.
Turns it straight over though. And straight into the hands there of Raf Clark. It's a good kick forward.
Yeah, well, you expect to bring most of the flankers and forward pockets into the game, I guess, with the Bugler and Ewing matchup. Obviously, Bugler's on top of that at the moment. But what that does, it frees up some of the fringe players.
So directly out in front, Raf Clark with the goal in the third term, goes for goal, and he's kicked it. So he's got 2, Raf Clark's got 2, and he becomes St Mary's first goal scorer of the last quarter.
Yeah, the turnover. Robinson took a really good mark in front of Long out on the far side. Was looking for harder. Obviously, he's a key player for them, but if he's got players on him, you still need to pick the easy option. So Robinson trying to switch the ball inside, turn the footy over, kick straight into Raf Clark, and that's probably his 6th scoring opportunity, and he finally gets a second goal.
He's got a good hoof on him. He just gave that a little caress. It's gone right down in the forward line. Good strong mark taken down there too from a pack of players. The man who played defence quite a bit of this game, Hayden Kenaway, takes a strong mark.
Yes, we'll see what he's like in front of goals. If he can kick a couple in the last quarter, you have a business case to keep him up forward, Charlie.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. He's directly out in front. He strikes it pretty well. He's just missed and hit the post. Kick out to the half-back line with Iggy Vallejo, feeds it out wider. Now they can run forward, Saints, with Jack Williams. Up to the wing he goes. Benrioli comes back into the corridor, searching kick, measured it pretty well too, gave it to Musgrave, who can play on. Musgrave spears it forward. Ewing comes out. He left Bugler behind. Bugler couldn't believe it. Ewing went looking for the footy and it beat him and got back to Bugler, who thought, gee, I'm having a good day today.
Yes.
In fact, he is. To Carl Lode, caught in a tackle. He got there on the good work of Lavastida. Ball to ground. Free kick here to Saints.
Yeah, just a high tackle. A little bit clumsy, but Shaper coming over the shoulder with Musgrave.
So Musgrave, centre of the ground, is going to set it up. He wants Benrioli, and he's going to get this Ben. He's out in front. He only had the big man Angus Clark bearing down on him, which has been the worst mismatch in footy we've seen all year. But they've persevered with it, I'm sure.
Well, again, I think the role Angus is playing is to actually drop off his opponent and fill the hole. But Ben's got 2 goals next to his name.
Yeah, Ben's doing all right. Now it's Leroy Larson with the footy. Come on, Leroy. You got to kick goals when McFarlane's down a bit on his game. Step up for Saints here. He's directly out in front. He's a key forward player, and he should kick goals, and he should kick this one. He gives this a go. They're not moving in the goal square, so they like it. So he does deliver. In the end, he gets goals. Taking him a while to get his second. Here he gets it in the final term.
And good call, Charlie. Leroy Larson does need to step up if, as a formidable second, third, fourth option. If McFarlane's not on, if Ewing's not firing, he needs to be on top of his game. And this would have been a great opportunity for him to really hone his skills and, I guess, put a bit of a stamp on his position in the St Mary's team with Rick Nolan.
Someone's got to kick the goals, don't they? If those two players get held, I mean, there could be an injury or all sorts of things could go wrong. So you've got to have, plan A, B, C in place, and he's part of that.
Absolutely.
When Saints put that together, he might kick a couple of more. He becomes away with 4 goals in this match. He'll have done pretty well, I reckon. Handball to Cameron Islet, and he's going to go deep with this. He's gone really deep with it, right to the goal line, just off hands and into the post for a minor score. Little kick out there towards McDonald. Now Bugler. Out towards the wing. Bath will get there for the bouncing ball. Does he keep it in play? Yes, he does. He's done pretty well. Searching kick for Carl Lowe. Didn't quite get to him. Ball cut off. Jack Long, back to the centre he comes. Here's Carl Lowe with the footy. Can go short. He's got Lavastida if he wants him. He does. Lavastida had the chance to have a peep over the shoulder. Can see Leroy Larson's down there if he wants to kick to the one-on-one. Nope. He's going to go to the pocket to Cooper. Cooper on the charge. No one wanted to go with Cooper. They all just said it's someone else's responsibility. I don't like chasing people that run that fast.
Yeah, I mean, Bugler and Clark just stood there.
Yeah, well, someone should block. I mean, someone should get in the hole anyway, shouldn't they? Where that kick's going to go towards Cooper. Cooper's had a good game here today. He's got 3. Very capable kicker. We're directly behind him up here in the Morris Rioli stand. Starts it out to the right, swung it back, just all a little too late. He comes away with another minus score. So inaccurate today, Saints. Fairly inaccurate in the end. That's not a good score line for them, I wouldn't have thought.
In the second half, yeah, absolutely inaccurate. And again, their intensity dropped. So that's what happens. Yeah, they were just on. In the first half, they were doing everything right, making the most of every opportunity. And like I said, the scoreline was 16 goals to 12. Well and truly in front of their...
well, 16 to 3, in fact, wasn't it? 16 to 3.
Yeah, so they're certainly up there with the conversion rates, and that would be one of the negatives that come out of this game, is the fact that they haven't gone on with it, and they haven't made the most of those, 47 scoring opportunities.
Will Rick Nolan talk to them about that, do you think?
Oh, I think so. I think you're always preparing for, I guess, the next game and the next top team that you play.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get these kind of opportunities against those top-tier teams. And, again, you need to send a message that if we're on top, we're going to stay on top.
Let's try and have a look who Saints have got coming up next. I don't have my draw with me, but if I can get hold of it before we finish, I'll have a look. I don't think it's in the footy insight. We normally have it there, but we don't have it with us here. So here's the handball out to Cooper again, gets in the pocket, he does a little dance with them again, goes over the top, does pretty well. Who waits for it? Wilson. Justin Wilson's got 4. Always on hand to help out with the goals is Justin Wilson. He ran down there, he's all by himself. Somehow he got behind him and he's gone in and kicked the goal.
That just goes to show the miscommunication or lack of communication within the defence at the moment. I know it's late in the last quarter for Tars and they've had a tough day out, but the last passage of play we saw Clark and Bugler let Cooper lead for the ball without even moving. On that occasion, all 4 players went to Cooper and left Justin Wilson in the goal square by himself. So
23 goals, 26 to 5, 6, 13, nearly 14 minutes gone. So St Mary's have got this game. So they had Nightcliff last week. It was a good test for them. They'd shown that they were back in form and playing good footy. They've this game here. Then they've got 2 tough games in a row. The Tiwi Bombers, who've just been building each week, Jared. We said this. They had a good win today over Palmerston, who are a real form side. They beat them over on the Tiwi Islands. And then they've got Wanderers after that. So Saints have got a couple of big matches in front of them. They want to take plenty out of this match, and kicking points instead of goals is not going to be useful.
Absolutely, 2 season-defining games there. Obviously, Saints are sitting 4th in the sort of the middle of the table, and Tiwi are going to be up and about for that game.
Yeah,
they will set themselves up to give St Mary's a really tough night.
Well, they've got a sniff now because they had nothing, and then they got that gifted game, and then they got a win here. So they, in a week they pick up a couple of games.
Yeah.
They figure they can win one next week. They're going to come away with 3 wins. All of a sudden they're back in the hunt.
That's right, back-to-back wins.
Well, they're going to say that for this week. Back-to-back wins. Handball out here. Big Clark got over. They put him to ground. Good tackle on him. And Saints with the kick that gets right over the top. Waiting back there is Henry Labastida. Goes for the search. Kick, nice one, all into the hands there of Raf Clark with his 2 goals. Could have added to it, but he dropped the footy. And then it's gathered in this time by Marius Clark to the pocket. Really, Bugler's done a terrific... I must say, Bugler's done a terrific job on Ewing.
Absolutely.
He really has.
That should have been the matchup from the start of the game. Absolutely.
He's just, he's like a wet blanket over the top of him all the time, and he's getting a little frustrated as the big goal kicker. And Bugler to bring this back into play. So it was 6-6 to 2-1 at quarter time, 16-11 to 3-2 at half time, 20-20 to 5-5 at 3/4 time, and here at the almost 16 minutes in this last term, it's 23-27 to 5-6. Saints with the footy again, spearing kick. Bugler with the little, Ewing with the little push out. He loved that, and he's going to go and give it to Cooper, and it's knocked away from Cooper. Good work back there in defence.
Yeah, right option.
Was McDonald.
Right option by Ewing there to centre it.
He did well to get rid of, he'd be feeling happy about getting rid of Bugler there, wouldn't he? To get his hands on that foot. He's throwing deep in the forward pocket here. 16 minutes gone.
feeling a bit of an earth tremor. There was a couple of them during the week.
Yeah, I'm just feeling that's a snap for goal. While I'm worried about that earth tremor. Who kicked that? Was that Cooper?
Again, field position right in front. If you've got a contest or a stoppage, those sort of opportunities in that position normally fall in your favour.
Now, Jared, I'm sorry to go back to the earth tremor, but it takes me back to the time when you won the Nichols Medal, and I was presenting it at the award at the casino, and you were on the stage with me, and we presented the medal with you, and there was a little earth tremor, and I looked, and you were standing at the door.
I remember you telling this story a lot, Charlie, and that's not correct because I was there.
It's that as I remember it. I said, "Where's Jared?" Oh, there he is at the door.
Under the table.
Saints in the middle trying to work this ball out of there, but Tars have pulled the free kick at it. 24-27 to 5-6. And they're going to use the handball out of here. Cam Jones, haven't seen much of him today. He's kicked forward for Harder. He's been all right, Harder, and he's a fair bit of it. He's trying to get past Ben Rioli, who says, "Not today, sir." It's a good tackle.
It's a great tackle.
Yep, here's Lewis. And the short kick's going to come in for Cooper. Bugler's left Ewing.
Yeah, he's just reading the play very well, Bugler. That was the side that Ewing had to lead to, and obviously Clark went down that way, but Bugler read it, called it much sooner, and got to the position.
Big game coming up on the back of this one. Southern District's playing the Darwin Buffaloes. Some great footy being played here in the top end at the moment. And just repeat those, sort of give those women's score for those people who didn't get it earlier on. It was the Thunder Black played Thunder Yellow. If we get some better names for that next year, it'd be good. But Thunder Black, 8 goals, 10 defeated Thunder Yellow, 4 goals, 5. But some terrific players out there. Ange Foley was terrific, and Heather Anderson was a great player. Lauren O'Shea was terrific. That's in the team Thunder Black. And in the other team, the Thunder Yellow, just mentioned a couple of their players that had some real good ones today. I just thought Amy Chittick was terrific for them. Lisa Roberts, as usual, she's such a great player for them. But we saw some good footy, enjoyed it in the celebration of the women's footy today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a hot, tough day for the ladies, but they certainly put on a good display of what territory football in the women's space can provide, and hopefully there was plenty of interest interstate with some of the AFL recruiters looking, and hopefully there's a few names marked down in those recruiters' books.
Taylor Thorne, we saw her as well. She's the daughter of the great Tommy Thorne. You remember? Did you play against Tom Thorne, or was he before your time?
Yeah, before my time, yeah. But I do have a little bit to do with Taylor at the St Mary's Footy Club. She plays for the women's, and when she wants to be, she's a super player.
Well, she was today, I can tell you. She was terrific. She had a job on the goal kicker, Abby Holmes. The lady has kicked 100 goals in this competition up here, and Taylor, just a youngster. I think how old is she? 17 or something?
Yeah. She's around that age, Charlie, and obviously a lot of potential, very talented, quick, and she's actually pretty tall for her age as well. So she's got all the makings. Again, it depends if she wants to be good. She can be very good.
She will be. We'll have to see that women's competition. They're going to have a national competition. Could be as early as next year. And gee, it'd be great to see the territory with the team in there. And those people who are having a look today would say, well, you can build a good team out of what you've got there. Maybe a few recruits would add to it. But that's what happens. You do get recruits.
Absolutely.
So Marius Clark's kick goes across the half-back line, finds Leroy Larson at the 20-minute mark. Saints, I think, with an eye on that clock up there.
Yeah, there's not too much movement happening out there, Charlie, from both teams. I think everyone's looking at the clock at the moment. But this guy here, I've just been super impressed with his game from start to finish. He's been the ruckman, he's taken a bounce, he's taken on the Waratah's defence, and
he's just missed.
He wanted a piece of the goal scoring action, but he's done everything else. He's taken a screamer, he's won most of the taps out of the middle, so I've really liked his game.
And he's good, and he's safe overhead, isn't he? He's a good mark of the footy above his eyes. Good mark taken out there by Liam O'Connor.
And he's challenging Cameron Eilert for the long hair stakes.
Yes. Running forward here, Anthony Long. So we're closing this game out. 21 minutes gone. Give us your better players, St Mary's. I'll give you a chance to have a look at that, Jared. But be interested in your thoughts on who've been good for Saints today. 24-29 to 5-6, 21 and a half minutes gone here, final term.
Well, most of the better players, I think, from the start of the game in the first half was Justin Wilson, Ben Rioli, and again Daniel Lewis, we just called his name. Cameron Eilert worked his way into the game. Darren Ewing worked his way into the game. Justin Cooper's, I think, been there for the 4 quarters. He's, even though he hasn't converted every opportunity, but he's been there for the 4 quarters, creating, coming up the field, defensive pressure. So they're sort of the better players in my book for them. Basil Althouse, we mentioned his name a fair bit in the 3rd quarter, and you'd put him in the best players for Waratahs. Luke Harder, Justin Bugler, absolutely. And I thought Liam O'Connor, he probably had a good half. Fraser Jennings tried hard all day, but there wasn't too many Waratahs players in their position today, unfortunately.
No, towards Fraser Jennings, who you just mentioned, has it across half back. Wants to get onto that left boot, now goes back onto the right boot. Drops it in short, and diving mark taken out there by Luke Harder. Has not stopped trying today. Glad you mentioned him amongst the better players. They're probably none better than him today, I wouldn't think, for Tars.
Well, the 3 games we've called, Charlie, the 3 Waratahs games that we've called, he has tried from start to finish every single time, and no wonder they look for him, but he just needs a hand. He needs a chop out. He needs some more support around the football.
Ben Rioli's going to kick a goal from a long way out, and that's a terrific goal. And Justin Cooper just gave up the ghost. When he saw it coming, he said, well, that's going to be a goal. I'll just give up. And it went all the way through. Ben Rioli gets another one, so he'll finish with at least 3 today.
Yeah, that's a good return for a normal back pocket player. He'll be quite enjoying his time up forward, and he'll be reminding the players throughout the week at training, no doubt, Charlie.
We'll just go. I think my opportunity to go down to Kieran Davis, who's been sitting down there. We're close to full time in this match. Kieran, what have you thought of the match?
Well, it's kind of hard to enjoy a game with a scoreline this lopsided, but Waratahs, they've put in a bit of a fight, I reckon, in the second half. Luke Harder, Justin Bugler trying his hard out all day. There's been some good footy to watch, but St Mary's just too dominant for my liking.
Yeah, well done, mate. Thank you for that. So 25-30 to 5 goals, 6, extraordinary scoreline here. Wilson gave the handball off to his running teammate down there in Henry Labastida. And now Bath with the kick. Luke Bath kicks it up towards Leroy Larson. Got his hands on a mark at centre half forward. Dropped it, goes short. He's going to go to the shortest man out there and give it to Henry Labastida. It made it very tough for him. Kick went to Godden. Has it across half back. Godden had a man out to his left who he ignored and went to the centre, which sort of made a lot of sense, but they had to mark the ball and they didn't do that. So the run forward now comes from Jack Wilson down towards the forward pocket, and climbing for the mark down there was Daniel Lewis. Didn't get it, lost it, gathered in by McDonald, brings it out towards the wing, short of.
That just sums up, I think, some of the ball movement. Just take the easy option for Waratahs. You called it, Charlie. You saw the option down the line on the left. Here in front of the grandstand, and Sam Godden had the opportunity to kick it to him, but he tried to force the ball. Perhaps an instruction to take risk and get the ball through the midfield. I don't know, but if the easy option's there, I reckon take it and start building from that point.
Yeah, at least first thing first. Let's retain possession. Let's kick it to a teammate who can take the mark rather than kick to a contest. You do take risks. I mean, we understand that, but this late stage of the match, I reckon you can get something out of kicking it to your teammate and holding the possession up. 25 minutes tick past. A big win today too. We mentioned the Tiwi Bombers held on for dear life against Palmerston over on Warramyunga, which is where they play over on Bathurst Island. And the Tiwi Bombers won 22 goals 11 to Palmerston, 15 goals 18. Ross Tungatallum, that super player who we've been watching just gradually get into form, kicked 8 goals today and just about destroyed Palmerston by himself. Palmerston with a big last quarter. I think they kicked 8 goals to 3 or something, didn't they, Jared, in the last quarter, and almost tried to run them down but couldn't get there.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about Tiwi's fitness on a number of occasions, Charlie, and they are building that element of their game through playing. The more they play, the fitter they get, or in theory.
Yeah.
But they obviously had a cracking 3 quarters to actually have an 8-goal lead going into the last. Whether it's a mental thing, whether it was fitness, I guess remains to be seen. And I guess it still gives coach William Rioli some confidence and something to work on as well.
Yeah, they needed the win and they got it. And Palmerston, who I'm really impressed with, I think they're a very good side. I thought they'd have problems going across there to play the Tiwi Bombers over there, and I was really impressed with the way the Tiwi Bombers are going. So we're going to see some good footy played here. There's so many teams in the contest. You couldn't at this early stage say, any two teams are definitely going to play on grand final day. We're going to have to wait a long time to find out more about that. Saints here with a little kick down to Ewing. It's right at his bootlaces. He picks it up, goes with the handball back to the middle of the ground. Joshy Heath going forward with it. Cooper a chance here.
Daniel Lewis.
Lewis, you've loved his game, Ian. Little wonder. He's been terrific. Great mark. And then good vision, just turns around and chips it across field. Yes, there's a lot to like about him. What's his story? Do we know much about him?
No, Charlie, that's some homework for me to do during the week, but it's got 3 games next to his name. He's played 3 games next to his name, obviously the first season for St Mary's and in the NTFL competition, but he looks like a really handy pickup.
He's a good man to have. Here's Hugh McMurtry from directly out in front with the last kick of the match. And it goes right down to the line. No score on it, so that final score will remain. It's a terrific win for St Mary's here in the end. 25 goals 20 to Tars 5 goals 6. They led all day and they run away with it to win comfortably in the end.
Thank you, Charlie. We've been through all the players. There's plenty of scoring opportunities for St Mary's. Their conversion is going to be something that they'll have to work on. And obviously there's plenty to look at for the Waratahs Football Club as we look towards the next game.
Yes, a couple of good games coming up too for St Mary's, Tiwi and Wanderers, so we look forward to those games. So we'll thank Kieran Davis. Thanks for your help on the boundary there, Kieran. No, we haven't got Kieran, but we've got you, Jared.
He's knocked off.
For that. He's gone. He's knocked off early. Nice to be with you again, mate. We'll be back doing it all again next week.
Thanks, Charlie.
Hope you've enjoyed our coverage here. The NTFL Round 7 match from the TIO Stadium in Darwin is one that St Mary's go home with a pretty big win. 25 goals 30, would you believe it, to 5 goals 6, the Saints victorious.
Some days in this world